Chris are ready to go.
McDonald will kick and deliver. The left-hand batter swings at the first pitch, sends it in the air to center field. It is high, it is deep, it is gone. Jackson Merrill, a home run in the top of the first inning, and the Padres take a 1-0 lead. A Jacksonian blast here at Oracle Park.
Indeed, it was. Welcome into Gwynn and Chris. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Skraby, and yes, it started off with the Jacksonian drive to dead central. It would end with a loss, however, in the cold, quick 2-hour and 9-minute game last night. Padres end up on the wrong side of it, looking to tie the series here with a victory today. Gentlemen, welcome in. How are you today?
Very good, and very good of Jesse Agler there to, obviously a nod toward John Sterling on that home run call. It is high, it is deep, it is gone, and the Jacksonian blast. I thought that was really a nice tribute from Jesse, if that's what he meant. And I am assuming, knowing the way he follows the sport, the way I do, and most of us, that was a nod to his cohort there with the Yankees who passed away yesterday. That was a really nice touch by Jesse. And, look, you're right. It started with a nice home run. We got another nice home run in the 9th inning. We didn't get anything in between that, though. And, it was look, they've lost 6 of 8. And we told everybody when they had won 17-20 that enjoy it, because pretty soon they'd probably lose 6 of 8. This is how baseball works. But it's still to make it any more fun to go through. I know the fans are frustrated, and they want everybody to start hitting 1,000 starting tonight. And that's probably not going to happen either, Tony.
Nope, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Mama said there would be days like this, and so here we are, 6 of 8, trying to figure it out on the offensive end. When you're not getting hits for long stretches of time, it feels like you're never going to get one. And so, takes one, couple good innings, all of a sudden we're looking at things differently. But right now it's certainly, I thought yesterday, I tipped my hat to Trevor McDonald. He threw the ball very well in his first start this year. But at the big league level, there are games in which you have to almost kind of bear through the tough part, and in order to try to come out on the right side of it. And what I mean by that is I thought McDonald did a terrific job as a sinker baller, keeping the ball down all game long. And I know that can be frustrating as a hitter. Like, this guy is not elevating this baseball at all. And I've watched our guys for a long time. That is a specific type of pitcher that gives us fits. A guy who can sink it and slide it, basically, and they keep the ball down.
Does your great statement that I've been kind of having some fun with, but does your great statement of when it's high, let it fly, when it's low, you got to let it go, does that apply to sinker ballers as well? Or is that more of a knuckleball thing and something that you just can't avoid when you're facing a guy like that?
I mean, I guess in some ways it can apply to a sinker baller, but it's specific to a knuckleball because of the movement on that pitch. The tough part about the sinker is it can still be effective when it's up. For a lot of guys, it's a little bit less, right? You get less sinking action when the ball is up. And I think sometimes the frustration of a guy making pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch will get you out of what your game plan is, right? And so now you're frustrated that you're not getting, and then he does finally leave something up. And because you're not dialed into your game plan, you're frustrated by how well he's throwing the ball, you miss it. And to be fair, McDonald didn't really miss up in the zone until the 6th inning. He was pretty much keeping everything down. There might have been a few pitches left up, but I just think that's part of the frustration this team is going with. Like, even though that's happening, you still got to stick with it, because eventually there's going to be a mistake. And in a close game like that, that's all you need is a couple of those mistakes. That he threw by the sixth inning, the ball was noticeably starting to elevate. But I think at that point we were already so frustrated that we were missing those ones. And, obviously Laureano clicked the closer there in the ninth. But, when a guy is throwing that well, the mistakes you do get, you just can't miss them. And I think that's virtually what happened on the Giants side. They got a few mistakes earlier in that ball game, and they didn't miss them. It was a homer, double. They end up getting a rise in there a little bit later in that inning. But yeah, I think that's kind of a microcosm of what we've seen from our offense here as of late.
I think that was I'm going to say a really nice way of putting it, because I think if I would have gone first, I think I would have had the same message, but I think I would have been a little bit crazier and, there
would have been some throwing of things maybe.
I don't think I'd be throwing anything, but I thought it was one of the worst offensive games I've seen from us all year, just because of probably everything you said, makes more sense than what I would say. But it did seem like we were, not having very, deep at bats. The game was 2 hours and 9 minutes, like you said. We didn't really work him. Maybe he didn't give us a chance to do that. Real quick. That's what I'm talking about, though.
Working him will in this case with me. Hey, man, you're gonna be 0-2, but you're gonna have to just kind of battle from 0-2, because he was making good pitches, and that's where I'm not faulting the guys. But just because he's making good pitches doesn't then mean the at bat is over, right? You still got to find a way to extend it a little bit longer, even if it's 2 extra pitches. That's fine; those start to add up. But I think the reason why he got to 70-something pitches into the 7th inning is because that frustration started to show. I thought a lot earlier than it has in some of these other starts where they've kind of had the battle.
I don't know if there's been 2 minutes. Go ahead, Skraby.
Sorry.
Jump in.
I saw a comment on the chat that I echo. At the 4 letters, I don't know which 4 letters they're talking about. Everyone throws the ball well against this team. It does seem like that. It does seem like everybody does throw the ball well against this team. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems like they face the best pitching every single night.
Now, is that a backhanded way of saying that they aren't, that the team, I'm trying to figure out what exactly that means.
I think that means that we suck.
No.
Oh, I think that's exactly what that's referring to.
I think that's what the backhand.
Yeah, it's a backhanded way of saying we're terrible.
No, well, for me, I can see how you take that. I didn't even think that for 1 second.
Because let's be real, everybody is not throwing the ball well.
Because Travis McDonald is not a Hall of Famer, but we made him look great.
Jackson Merrill after the game said he threw the ball well. Hats off to him. I mean, it seems like they say that a lot.
He did throw the ball well, but as Stam has alluded to a couple different times, we got to figure out a way to make it happen either way, right? Because I think Stam alluded to this at the very beginning when they had that rough stretch, 2 and 4 to start the season. These are the type of pitchers you're going to face. His name may not be Trevor McDonald come October.
Yeah, but it's going to be somebody that.
It's going to be somebody like that, and you're going to have to, regardless of how well he's throwing, and you're going to have to figure out a way to beat him. That's the name of the game. Ultimately, no matter what, whether it's Blake Snell at his best or Trevor McDonald at his best, come October, those are the guys you're going to face. So this is practice in some ways, right? How are you going to do it? What are you going to lean on come October, assuming that we're there, that says, oh, you know what, we've been in this before. We know exactly how we're going to have to get to this dude.
Because that's how they got eliminated last year. I mean, the playoff, right? Yep. They couldn't figure it out enough they didn't have to even score very many runs. The Cubs scored, I think, 6.
I think the winner in each game scored 3 runs.
Right. Yep. So they didn't do enough to even beat that.
Nate says something on the chat. He's taking it a different way. He said pitchers rise to the challenge because it is the Padres and they are good. So there you go.
I think what was it, 4 letters? I think what he said is accurate. I think what Nate is, it's all the same thing, right? Whether teams where their pitchers are stepping up because it is the Pods and because we got some motion now as an organization. Teams want to beat us. True. Have they faced some good pitching to start the year? Yes, also true. But at the end of the day, so what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you got to figure out a way to win. And right now, they're still trying to figure out what that is. And as a group, because I can at least say that yesterday, to maybe what Chris is alluding to, he said it was their first worst offensive performance. I did think that they got off of their plan earlier than what I've seen them against other tough pitching before. I always go back to that Pittsburgh game that they beat Bubba Chandler, who was blowing Ched, and it was nothing they could do about it. But they stuck with it. Eventually, they got to him. The same thing could be said when they faced that third game that day. They stuck with it, even though it wasn't going great. It seemed like it was headed the wrong. They stuck with it, and they eventually broke them. I thought they kind of got off of it a little earlier than they had been yesterday.
And you brought up the missing of the pitches, Tony. That is a direct example, as you said, of being A, frustrated, B, maybe overswinging, B, just not quite being within yourself. Because I noticed that, and I don't normally, point that out necessarily in my own mind, where it looked like some of those, sliders later in his appearance were right in the middle of the plate. 100%. And we were just like not even hitting them. And that was like that, to me, that along with the no walks and not being able to get deep into counts and 10 strikeouts and, you had 2 hits until Laureano. I put it all together. I thought that was kind of a low point, and I hope that is a low point. And I don't want to see too many more games like that.
You can say 2 hits, but it was one guy.
That's right. Yes,
before Laureano got to that point.
Yeah.
And so, you like to chalk this one up and be like, all right, tomorrow, but we've seen a few of these now where, the offense has just kind of been non-existent. So, hopefully today is a new day. It's a beautiful thing about baseball. We get to lace them up again and see if they can right the ship.
I do love that. I do love that they get a new game every single day.
It would suck to have to do this show, honestly, if there were like 4 or 5 games off in between.
Like, if you tell me I'd have to talk about that game for a week?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to do it.
I mean, in the NFL it works, but not in baseball. Real quick, we can answer this on the other side, but we had a question from Jay Munoz. I have to ask, and I would hope you guys are honest. How did you see Tatis's at bat in the second or third when he struck out, and then Tatis and Manny's at bat in the ninth? What are they swinging at? I can't answer that, obviously. But we can answer on the
we'll
other
answer
side.
On the other. I'll give you my thought on the other side.
Okay.
We're Gwynn Chris.
Clear your schedule and
these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
these things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Last night, Padres have dropped 6 of 8. The natives are restless. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. is in San Francisco, and Matt Skraby alongside here. We are at the Bill House Studios, where we know how. Alden Gonzalez from ESPN will give us some of his thoughts on the Padres and the early season going here in the National League West, where the Padres now at 20-14. Trail the Dodgers by a game and a half. By the way, Tony, if you'd have told everybody that on Cinco de Mayo, though early in the season, if I'd have said we're still only a game and a half, people probably would have signed up for that.
Yeah, they would have signed up.
They would have signed up for it. They would not have signed up for it.
They would have been pissed off though, signing up, knowing what they know.
Yeah, because knowing that we went 7, it's been weird. The Padres went 1-4, then they went 17-4, and then they went 1-4 again, and then I guess 2-6. So, we told everybody that this is going to be the way you have to get through and navigate a season. But last night was a struggle, and somebody brought up the at-bats of Manny and Fernando, and Fernando's getting a closer look probably than anybody right now. So what did you see last night on for those two guys, Tony, from your keen eye?
Honestly, yesterday's the first day where it looked like Toddy was a little frustrated with, the outcomes. I feel like largely throughout the season, even when he's had some rough days, he still has been in it. Yesterday seemed like he was a little frustrated. I just think Manny's still kind of getting his swing in order in some ways, right? He was a little longer yesterday with his stroke than I've seen him. When he started to get going, he seemed to kind of shorten up a little bit. I just think Toddy is a direction thing. Like he was one of the guys that came up in that sixth, I believe, that got a few of those hanging breaking balls that he just kind of smothered. You could
tell he's just the frustration is showing a little. I must say, it really
that
is.
was yesterday was the first day. It felt like you could see it a little bit. I thought he had done a really good job, despite not getting the hits that he thought he deserved prior to yesterday, of really kind of just staying with it. But I think that's normal. You know what I'm saying? You hitting the ball as hard as you had. Listen, let me tell you, I've had a number of teammates like go through this and like they get tired of hearing, man, nice swing, or hey, you hit it hard.
Right.
They don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
they don't want to
good.
hear that. Like I've had a teammate tell another teammate to F off after hearing nice swing.
I get it.
Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I've made 18 outs in a row and I've hit the ball. I've done everything I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm mad.
Yes.
Like, let me be.
It's like when people tell me after I get dumped or something, you're gonna find it's about to happen. It's about to happen. You're gonna find that person. I promise. It's about to happen. Right. And you know what my reply is? It's been about to happen for like the last 15 years. So
well,
unfortunately, you get that dump speech quite often.
I know,
so
it stinks, man. You know, I've gotten so good at taking the dump speech that I can like write my own dump speech and hand it to them before they do it.
This is where your teammates or whoever's giving you the dump speech have to have a little feel. Like sometimes you don't have to say anything. Just like don't say anything. Let them go.
Yeah, nice putt. Yeah, it didn't go in, and then it rolled 9 feet down the hill. So it doesn't make me feel a whole lot better. I appreciate it. But
have I ever told you about the time I was at the U.S. Open at the Olympic Club, and my cousin, who was 16 at the time, Matt Kuchar, missed a birdie putt, and then he missed a par putt while he was in contention on a Sunday, and my cousin yelled after he missed the par putt, "Attaboy, Cooch!" And Kuchar, it was quiet. He looked directly at us, and what did I do? I pointed to my cousin.
Remind me never to go any place with you, Skraby.
Oh, I'll be quiet. It was my cousin.
You just ratatouille'd on your cousin.
Of course.
You could have kept your hand down. He would have never known who said it.
Matt Kuchar literally just lost.
Why didn't you just go out there and tell him, hey, it was that guy over there?
I would have if they would have let me on the green, Chris. Are we ready, Chris? Are we ready for this?
You better play a sounder because this is going to be a little surprising to some people. Tony, I don't know if you got the tweet. You probably either have it or you haven't quite looked at it, but it's not surprising, honestly, to me. Jay Cronenworth goes on the 7-day concussion IL, and Sung Moon Song is promoted from AAA El Paso to take his spot. And
additionally, there's another one.
There is Kyle Hart has gone down. They had to find somebody to go down to make room for Yuki Matsui because his time limit was up in the contract situation. So Yuki's back in the bullpen, but I think Sun Mun Song coming up, if at least going to get a week, I hope to play some second base, see what he can do, and whether or not Jake has a concussion, that really isn't neither here nor there. He's got a week. At least for now, and I think you've got to give him a little time to try to sort through his struggles, Tony. It's nobody wants to see it. Everyone's rooting for Jay Cronenworth, and I think this is a smart idea, honestly.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what did he get?
Did he get hit by a pitch the other day?
He got hit in the foot.
Oh, that doesn't. Yeah, foot and the head are two.
Well, he got hit in the chin with a pitch.
Oh,
that was maybe 2 weeks ago. That was a while ago, but maybe that's lingering. You can say
listen. Yeah, there's no doubt that Jake is the type that would not say anything about symptoms.
That's true. He could actually have had a concussion for 2 weeks and nobody has.
Until he absolutely had to. So
that's possible.
I mean, listen. So. At this point, this gives Jake obviously time to let his brain heal, but just as important, give him a mental break. From the everyday struggle that he's been in, and on the flip side, they get a chance to look at Song. And the pitching move, something had to give. I doubt it was going to be another righty that they sent out for Matsui. So it ends up being Kyle, who I thought did a pretty good job in the time that he was up and what he was asked to do.
Yeah, Kyle Hart did his thing. I mean, he's the number 9 or 10 guy, or 10 or 11 guy on a staff of 10 or 11. You don't expect him to be completely lights out, but I thought he did fine, and hopefully Yuki gives him a little boost. But we'll see if Song is in the lineup tonight. I don't know. I'm waiting for a lineup to come out, and maybe Skraby will get it before we do. But
I'm watching it.
We'll keep an eye and see if Song gets in there tonight. But let's be fair to Song, by the way, before he does get in the lineup. Not really being called up to save the offense by himself, right? So,
no, but he's expected of that.
He
shouldn't be expected of that, and that's why I'm saying it. People wanted to go 4 for 4 with 2 doubles and 4 stolen bases tonight, and as nice as that would be, this offense is going to get going if the other guys get going more than if he comes up.
Chris, this isn't irrational thought. That
I understand that. That's why I'm.
That we complain about the Bryce Johnsons of the world. We complain, but we don't complain about the high-paid guys. I mean, Xander gets complained about
except
quite a
for
bit.
Xander. Yeah,
I was going to say he gets, but the other guys like.
Do you really think nobody's complaining about Fernando right now?
That's also true.
I think there's a lot of people.
I made the mistake the other day of what do you call it? Combining an Instagram post with the Padres.
Collaboration.
Collaboration. I made the mistake of collabing with the Padres, and the post was about my dad and the history of the family. And for like 3 straight days, I keep seeing comments about the specific game. One of the comments was like, "We should DFA Toddy." I've seen that a couple times.
Wow.
But in the caption, he put in parentheses, "Just kidding." It's almost like people need to say that so they can just kind of. It's like a purge. Like get all that.
Are you sure that tweet
of
wasn't from Greg Amsinger saying that we should DFA him and send him to the Mets or something?
I just found that funny. Like everybody's it. Like it just tells you how tapped in everybody is to each and every one of these games.
Yeah.
Like it was a post from Friday of last week, and every game that we've had since, at the end of the game, there's been comments about that game or like mid-game, and at bat somebody didn't like, they're commenting on that post.
My favorite is when you get like a reply like a year and a half later to like a hot take on some sort of Padres topic. I'm like, how did you just see this and why are you commenting on it a year and a half later?
See those before too. That's funny.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick timeout. Tony's got to catch the bus here soon, but we're going to get a little time with him in the next segment. We also have Alden Gonzalez in the next segment.
Yes, we do.
But I also, before I go to that, can we?
Let's go to 33. Go to 33.
Well, all right. Let me ask Tony before we get to that. Tonight it's game 1. I'm looking forward to this series as much as I've been looking forward to a series in a while.
Something you wouldn't know about, Skraby.
Yeah, just get out of this. Go tie your shoes or something.
He said, I'm looking forward to game 1. That could be a hockey game. That could be an NBA game. That could be a baseball game.
No, it couldn't when you know who I'm talking to.
Well, you didn't say what sport it was.
Us basketball and hockey fans knew exactly what he was talking about.
A couple of quick things and we'll get into this in the gambit. How about the Lakers are 15.5-point underdogs tonight for game 1?
So disrespectful.
That's pretty disrespectful, I think.
Luke is out, though.
He's been out. I mean, so okay.
They also had a 7.5 underdogs against the Rockets for like most of that series.
They were 7.5 the whole series. Yeah, 15.5 points is the spread tonight. Secondly, I just want to know right now, Tony, before they throw up the first ball and the series starts, I don't know how much SGA using the chicken wing to gain space bothers you, because I want to know where you're at now, and then I want to compare it where you're at, when the series is over and you watch him do it against your squad for 6 or 7 games.
I can tell you that it's going to bother me a whole lot more now that my team is involved.
Okay,
that boy.
Yeah.
So I will be, and it's not that it didn't bother me before; it just didn't affect me before, because
it's going to affect you now.
It's going to now affect me and my squad. And so, yeah, I'm going to be watching tight. And listen, I already see, and this is what makes me think JJ Redick is going to be a great head coach. He's already playing the Phil Jackson, Bill Belichick games of already showering these guys with like how great this team is. It's one of the greatest teams ever. He's just trying to soften them up. And next thing he's gonna do is start put it in the referee's ear. Hey man, this guy's he's chicken winging. We need to watch that. We need to watch that.
No, we need to call it. That's what we need.
They have been watching it.
Yeah,
right.
They've been watching it. They haven't been calling
They're
it.
like, wow, that's a really great push-off.
Right. Very nice. Nicely executed. Look, did you see how the guy flew back into the third row? That was really good.
I mean, the extension on that was incredible.
Man. Yeah, I think Marcus Smart, to me is the guy that I would use. I don't want to foul him out early. So, I may have to use him judiciously, but Marcus Smart has always been a guy that, loves these kind of assignments. I think this would be, one where I turn him loose. Maybe you don't start on SGA, but, as the game goes on and it gets a little more important, I think that's something you got to do. But it'll be interesting. Look, OKC doesn't have Williams, right? He's still not back.
Is he still out?
I think, as far as I know, he is. I didn't hear he's coming back. Good. So that to me is a big deal. But I really want to see how great this OKC team is. We have heard for 2 years that they're the greatest team maybe ever put together. I watched the 7 games against the Pacers last year pretty closely. I thought the Pacers were just as good as they were. I thought they could have beat them if Halliburton didn't get hurt. I saw the Denver series last year, which went 7 games. I thought they were able to prevail there. But I just have not seen a dominant, the great team that I keep hearing about. And we'll see. Let's see what they do up against LeBron. Let's see what they do up against the Lakers. And I don't know if Luka can get back by the middle of the series, it wouldn't hurt. But I just think
we got to win a couple to try to give him a chance to get back.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I do. I'm looking forward to it. LeBron's going to do his. He's going to do his thing too. I mean, if he gets hit, he'll go down and cover his head, and he'll stay down for 30 seconds minimum. So, I think you're going to see a lot of guys on the floor. You're going to see a lot of flailing arms. And I think the officials are going to be front and center in this series.
I think
and that too is kind of too bad, but that's just the way it goes.
I think the Lakers have to muck this series up. Because OKC is too young. They get up and down too well. I think they got to make this like an old school playoff series where the physicality is high. It's have a chance to win this.
Then you better hope that the officials let them play like that a little bit. That's always in question.
If they're gonna let the chicken wing go, maybe this plays into their part in terms of hacking these cats.
Yeah,
SGA needs to start a restaurant called Chicken Wings or something.
It would be brilliant if he came out with that shit.
Just to rub it in everybody's face.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take the break. Alden Gonzalez on baseball and the Padres after Gwynn and Chris returns.
Gonzalez. You'll see him on the sideline for ESPN doing games. He also is a brilliant writer as well. Alden, how are you? Thank you for joining us today.
Doing great, fellas. How you doing?
Doing well. Let's start with the National League West. Hasn't been very good as of late. I mean, all teams had a losing streak up until a couple days ago. Dodgers are doing what the Dodgers do. Padres, although offensively haven't looked good yet, have found a way to win games. I mean, what has been your thoughts on the National League West as a whole as we've gotten through the first month and some change?
Yeah, to me, it's just been a reminder of just the highs and lows of a season. And I think, during times like this where certain parts of your team are not going right, it's interesting to see like which teams can sort of make up for that and which teams cannot. I'm sure you guys have talked about this at length as in regards to the Padres. But the fact that they're playing as well as they have, at least record-wise, with negative run differential and with their offense being as anemic as it has been, I think is a great sign. And as it regards to the Dodgers, again, and look, I think those are the two best teams in the division. I don't think I'm saying anything controversial or surprising. But as it regards to the Dodgers, I mean, they too have had some really, really bad, are going through a really bad offensive rut right now. And, they still manage to stay atop or near the top of the National League, atop the sport. And I think, those two teams have kind of separated themselves. I feel like what the Dodgers and the Padres are going through offensively, it feels a lot more temporary to me than what the Giants are going through. It just doesn't seem like a lineup that fits well together. And the Diamondbacks have showed a lot of fight. I thought the Diamondbacks were going to struggle a lot in the early going when you look at the injuries that they've had. And I know that the thought for them throughout the organization was, we just need to hang on the first 6 to 8 weeks of this season, and then we're going to have some pitching reinforcements back. So the fact that they're at 500, around 500, I think is a good sign. But I still think at the end of the day, it's going to be Dodgers and Padres, which makes it so fun that they're going to meet in a couple of weeks in San Diego.
Alden Gonzalez from ESPN, nice enough to talk some baseball with us. Alden, everything you said makes 100% sense to us. And when you did your power rankings, I think last week, or when ESPN did, and you wrote about the Padres, you wrote the exact same thing, that, it's amazing that the Padres are doing what they're doing. Our fans don't want to hear any of that. Our fans want to know why everybody's not hitting 600. And, so here's, I guess, the best question for them might be, what's fair for them to be concerned, with a guy like Fernando and with a guy like even Jackson Merrill, who he did homer last night, but he hasn't really got it going. Man, he's been less than his normal self. And let's just look at those three players. What's fair to be, before you should say, okay, it's fair to be concerned?
Well, I just think they need to get going at some point. Like, it needs to happen because, and this has been talked about on your show before, and I still believe this, even though the Padres are doing what they're doing, how much can you count on, Xander Bogaerts producing the way he has been, or even a Miguel Andujar, or guys like, guys that they weren't counting on, like Ty France and Luis Campuzano. Like, track record and or age suggests that those are not going to be guys that you're going to be counting on for a 6-month regular season. And for the Padres, and look, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I think as the years have gone on and the contracts have gotten bigger and the budget has gotten smaller and the farm system has gotten thinner, it has become more and more important every year that your big guys carry the load. Yeah. And I will say that on the pitching side, but specific to this question, I will say that on the offensive side. So where my concern would lie, if I'm a Padres fan, or even if I'm just observing the Padres, is that eventually Tatis and Merrill and Machado are going to have to be your 3 best hitters for this to be a playoff team. Now, the optimist in me will say it's going to happen because all I have is evidence that it's going to happen. And with Tatis, I know there's been a lot of talk about Tatis and his batted ball data and stuff like that. And like, he needs to pull pitches into the air. Like, we all know that. But the fact that he's hitting the ball as hard as he is, last I checked, nobody outside of James Woods was hitting the ball harder than Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's
now,
true.
That doesn't make what has happened any better, but it should suggest to you that he's not super far off. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I would think that those three guys are going to get better. And the fact that the Padres are where they are, in spite of that, for however frustrating it might be to watch them on a daily basis, and I'm sure it is maddening right now, I would think that that's going to turn around. But having said that, it needs to, because there's no other path for the Padres to make the playoffs if it's not with those three guys carrying the load.
Alden Gonzalez spitting all facts here right now as he joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Alden, the Padres hitting is just a piece of what's going on right now. They're quite banged up, although they got a nice shot in the arm, no pun intended, from Griffin Canning the other day. He joined the rotation, but they are without Nick Pivetta, Joe Musgrove at the tippy top of their rotation. I mean, how important, you mentioned the offense, and certainly those three guys are going to have to be the dudes if they're going to be a serious playoff contender. But how important is it to get those arms back as well at the front end of that rotation?
I mean, it's going to be crucial. And I mean, you guys would know more than me in terms of where Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta are with their rehabs. It doesn't seem like they're anywhere in the near future in terms of coming back. So look, I mean, well, Griffin, I can't, I mean, I guess you can't overstate this, but it was still like really important to see like what Griffin Canning did coming back, because they need that. What Randy Vasquez continues to provide for them has been essential, like Michael King being there. But this rotation is going to need more. And my concern here, and I saw this with the Dodgers last year, in that their rotation was really banged up and their bullpen started to absorb a lot of innings early, and it took a toll late. Yeah. And I worry because the strength of this Padres team is so clearly in the bullpen. If you're getting short starts, if you're getting ineffective starts from, I don't know, 3/5 of your rotation, which it has felt like that for a big chunk of the year, there is a tendency to overtax your bullpen. And that shows up later. Like the receipt comes due eventually. So that'll be my concern there. I mean, it's not, and I think the run differential, I think I just looked this up last night. I think the run differential is still like -2. I mean, there's a reason for that, right? Like they're not getting major offensive production, and they're not getting, on most nights, great starting pitching, but their bullpen is holding on, and Mason Miller's having a transformative year, and they're having a lot of comeback wins. At some point, like one of those two things, either the offense or the starting pitching, needs to start clicking for this to be a more sustainable run for them.
Alden Gonzalez, ESPN, so knowledgeable, so fun to have you on again. What have you heard anything that we maybe haven't heard about the new ownership of the Padres and what that might look like? Number one, and number two, what might they be facing a year from now or in December if this whole thing goes south and, we don't even have baseball coming up? I keep it's in the back of my mind. I'm trying to keep it there, Alden.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's going to be on the back of everybody's mind. I've heard, I think what I've heard is a cautious optimism. The fact that the new ownership group, Feliciano and his wife, like they seem to be, invested in San Diego, that it's the two of them maintaining ownership, and it's about a 40% equity stake that they have in the team, and he's going to be the controlling owner. It's going to be their team. The fact that it's not their private equity company and it's them owning it, I think is a big deal. I think it's going to end up being a big deal. And the fact that they seem to be investing in the community and they like baseball, and they said this in their statement when the announcement was made, that they want to carry out Peter Seidler's vision, I think brings optimism. Now, at the moment, those are just words.
That's right.
And So we'll see what happens. I think we also have to see what the economic structure is of Major League Baseball. Like, nobody has any idea what we're going to be facing in 2027, and especially not in 2028. Is there going to be a salary cap? Is it going to be maybe easier with the nationalization of local media for the Padres to spend the way they were in the last few years of Peter Seidler? That I don't know, but I will say I think the Padres are a very important symbol here for the coming labor talks, okay? Because if you're on the union side, you are using the Padres as a proxy for ownership spending. Yeah. And what I mean by that is Peter Seidler poured his money into the roster, okay? And maybe they didn't win a championship, but they were fun and they were competitive, still are competitive. They had a great fan atmosphere there. And then when it came time to sell the team, he sold for $3.9 billion, easily a record. And it's a testament to, if you put resources into something, you will eventually benefit from it. But the counter from the league side, outside of what they'll say about this being an outlier situation because it's a Southern California team and those are a lot more valuable than in other places like in Minnesota where they couldn't sell, or in Washington, D.C., what they'll say is, well, yeah, he did that, but the Padres incurred hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. And that is not a sustainable or an equitable path for any other owner or most other owners. And it's why the league needs a salary cap, because even though they were drawing the crowds that they were, they still incurred debt while trying to spend like the Dodgers. So those are two arguments that are going to be made. And I think it's very interesting that this Padres sale is going to be so pivotal in the upcoming labor talks.
Very, very well said there, Alden. It's certainly on the front and back of everybody's minds. As the deeper we get into the season, the closer to reality we are of those questions being answered. As always, Alden, appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us, man. We'll catch up again soon.
No problem, guys.
Thanks, care. Alden. Alden Gonzalez, ESPN. Came to us on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. I love what he said at the end about the upcoming labor stoppage, which don't we all kind of believe it's going to actually happen? We're not thinking about it now because we just want to try to enjoy the season, but we really don't trust, do we, that the owners and the players are going to get together and kumbaya and, you know, just sign an extension through and agree to a bunch of stuff so that we don't miss baseball?
I think when it comes down to it, there's going to be a little bit of missed baseball, but both sides are going to realize real quick, we need to make our money. We need to come together.
I don't disagree with that, but I think there will be some missed baseball.
There's going to be missed baseball.
But guaranteed what Alden said is true. The players are going to say, how can you claim poverty when the Padres just sold for $3.9 billion?
And they have a good point.
And the owners are going to say, yeah, but the Padres are an outlier and they've been just bleeding money and because of that strategy.
Debt, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
It's the stupid big team thinking.
It's blah, 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 blah. But that's going to be one of the big things that's going to be talked about. And, you know,
I've said this before. I think that the players really need to figure out how to communicate to the public that they're not just being greedy. Because I think when players come out and say, we need more money, the average fan, not us or people listening right now, they're going to think, man, these guys are greedy. I don't know how they communicate that, but they need to, because they're making nothing compared to what the team's making.
Right. The players make absolutely almost peanuts compared to what these owners are making. But you're absolutely right. The PR people for the players are terrible, because the PR people from the players seem to give out the message that, hey, we all make on average $3-4 million a year. We need more.
Yeah.
That's the message that we as fans hear. So we're going to boo all the players.
And then I just paid $6.50 for gas, and I don't care about your money, players.
Yeah, no. But the bottom line is the players want more money because they know how much the owners are making. Anyway, it's going to be Not going to be any baseball Christmas in December this year.
It's going to be a slobber knocker, is that what you said? Drag out?
Slobber knocker? No, a slobber knocker is just a blowout, like a rout.
Just like a huge...
Yeah, just one team crushes the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. 1 hour is in the books. Tony's on the bus. He's headed to Candlestick Park.
Yes.
Padres baseball later. Hour number 2 of our show next.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. All the way. Here we go. Oh, you idiot. Right. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything? Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
And away we go with hour number 2 of Gwynn and Chris, live from the Bill Howe Studios. We know how. Padres comes to hitting. Don't seem to know how.
They need to call Bill Howe.
They need to call Bill. It hasn't been working of late. Chris Ello here, Skraby there. Tony Gwynn Jr. on the bus over to Oracle Park for tonight's ball game. He and Jesse will call it. Sam Levitt will have the pregame show following our gathering at 5:45 this evening. And then the game starts at 6:45. Logan Webb, I've heard, and I think people just assume Logan Webb just is lights out against the Padres in his career.
He's struggling.
Not really. 18 starts, he's 5-5 with a 3.14 ERA. That's pretty good ERA, but like he hasn't just completely wiped them out. And Logan Webb has not been pitching great this year, at least to his standards. I mean, he's pitching okay, but hasn't been.
Did you tell me the theory
sharp.
about Logan Webb?
I did.
Yes.
The theory about Logan Webb is that because of the ABS system, he's getting pitches taken away more than most pitchers. And the reason they say that is because I guess last year Logan Webb led baseball in strikeouts on pitches that were not strikes because he has such great late movement.
Yeah.
And so guys swing at pitches that are not there, or they take them and he gets the call. Well, if you take it, you can't get the call anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's either a strike or it's not. And if it's not, and the ump calls it, you just challenge it and you stay alive in the at-bat. So the theory is that Logan Webb is having to come into the strike zone a lot more than he ever has had to, and that he's kind of adjusting to a new reality. So
that's a pretty solid theory.
Seems like it could be, correct. Didn't matter last time. I think he pitched, 8 innings, 1 run last time out, gave up a solo home run to forgot who hit it, but that was all he gave up. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I'm talking about his last start prior to tonight. So he can still, shut you down. And the way the Padres are swinging it right now, laughably, it feels like I could, twirl a 6-hitter, just get it out, keep it down and away. They're just really, I said it, Tony. I don't think Tony didn't, disagreed with me, Skrabe. Last night was, I think, the worst hitting day of the year.
He did not disagree.
He didn't disagree. I mean, they missed pitches. They were right in the middle of the plate. He said that he thought that they got out of their game plan more than in most games. And, I mean, they were put to bed by a minor league pitcher, really, up making, his third career start. You got a home run, Jackson. You got a single by Jackson. You got Jake Cronenworth hitting the foot with a pitch, which somehow landed him on the 7-day concussion IL today. That news came down a little while ago. Jake is out.
He did get hit in the face with a pitch 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago he did. And whether that's been lingering or not,
I'll choose to believe it.
You're going to choose to believe it.
Yes.
Okay, you go right ahead.
I will.
Either way, Jake's on the 7-day concussion IL, and Sungwon Song has been recalled. We're waiting to see if Song will be in the lineup tonight for Jake Cronenworth, or whether they'll put Fernando at second and put Castellanos back out in right field. So
I don't want it.
I would rather, look, if you're going to call this guy up, you're paying him $15 million. Let's at least, see something for a week.
You're going to have to
find out if you have something here. If not, then nobody hurt. But you must believe that he's okay. You wouldn't have given him $15 million in the first place.
Very true.
So we'll see.
It's also interesting with the Jake Cronenworth thing because they chose the concussion IL.
Well, that's shorter.
It is shorter. It's 7 days versus 10 days.
If they said that he's got a strained, hammy and he's going on the 15-day IL, right? Then that means they can't bring him back for 2 weeks. So you put him on the concussion IL. I mean, I don't believe he's got a concussion. You do. That's fine.
I'm
no doctor. I just stayed at a Holiday Inn last night. I mean, he played last night. I didn't see him get hit anywhere near the head last night unless he conked his head trying to, go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I don't know when he would have sustained a concussion.
The only thing I'll say is that a concussion can linger.
Okay, so you're saying the one he got hit a couple weeks ago could have lingered.
I say it could linger because he got directly hit into the jaw and he stayed in the game. And then I think he took the day off the next day. But
either way, this is the way to do it. You give him the 7-day, then you can always extend it another 7, right?
Yeah.
And say, you know what, he hasn't.
I don't know about the concussion IL, but I get what you're saying.
No, I don't know why. Why not? Just say it hasn't come back. He hasn't recovered. We're going to put him 7 more. I mean, the bottom line, Jake Cronenworth needs to go somewhere in a cage and get it figured out. And, because we can't have a guy hitting 147. That's just not how it works.
You're right.
So that move was made today. Also, Yuki Matsui's back in the bullpen. Kyle Hart was sent out to make room for him. Lakers and OKC is the big game on the board tonight. NBA playoffs. And let's take a look at some of the game. Boy, the Knicks. Woo! What are they going crazy? What are they putting in the water at Madison Square Garden right now? Let's go to the Gambit.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Real quick, SD Mike on the chat says maybe the Padres need to start dusting off the old hemorrhoid IL just to get people motivated to come back.
That's not nice,
I
SD
like
Mike.
I like it.
That's not fair.
I like it.
Dust off the hemorrhoid IL.
Dust it off and say, if you guys struggle, we're going to put you on the hemorrhoid IL.
We're going to tell everybody you've got hemorrhoids.
So you can come back.
So start
and
hitting.
be a lot better.
Okay, that's silly, but what the
we
hell?
are broadcasting live
Things
from
have gotten to a
Studios,
comical stage with this offense.
where we know how, yes, it has become comical. At least we're not the Mets fans, though, and not a Mets radio station. They're still...
Mets are perking up a little bit. They've won 4 out of 5. I think the Phillies have won 6 out of 7 since Don Mattingly took over. I mean, that's just how the world goes.
No matter how home run from Logan Webb was Schwartz.
Oh, that's right. And then that was the only run he gave up until the closer, I think, blew the game later.
What's new for the Giants? Here are some of the bets we made last night. Vegas, or the Las Vegas Golden Knights, -1.5 on the puck line against the Ducks. We both went Ducks. Vegas wins 3-1.
There was some controversy as well on the tie-breaking goal late in the third period. Joel Quenneville, the Ducks coach, who's been around it now for 30 years, like he knows, he thought they should have whistled the play dead for icing.
Okay.
And the official at the last second ruled it was, he was going to wave it off. It's a little involved, so I don't want to get into it. But suffice to say, the Ducks players, Joel Quenneville, felt kind of eased up, expecting a whistle.
Okay.
And when there was no whistle, they were then out of position. And Vegas came over the puck and made a quick pass and scored the go-ahead goal.
Was it the right call?
I'd have to look at it again. It was close, but Quenneville was furious behind the bench, and Then the Ducks give up an empty net goal.
Augie
so 3-1
says
was the final.
On the chat, it was icing.
Yeah, it should. That's what I read. And I trust Joel Quenneville. The guy's been around it a while. He was not happy with that call. Cost the Ducks the ball game, the hockey game.
The hockey game.
Yeah.
Next one was Knicks minus 7.5 against the Sixers. We both went Sixers. We were both wrong. The Knicks won by 39 points, 137-98.
How about the Knicks' last 2 playoff games? They've now won by a combined 90 points.
That's pretty good.
Holy smokes.
That's pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah.
good. You know what we're talking about.
Spurs minus 9.5 against Minnesota. You went T-Wolves. I went Spurs.
Yeah.
Spurs lose this game. T-Wolves win 104-102. Wemby, a terrible shooting game. Great 12-block game.
Set the all-time NBA record.
Yeah.
12 block shot. 12 block shots.
That's a ton.
A good block shot game is 3. That's a good game. He had 12. But I'll tell you, the guy who was the hero was Ant-Man. I mean, he comes off the injured list. He's not supposed to play. They rest him the whole game. Then they bring him in the fourth quarter, and he lights it up.
Yep.
Made all the shots. I just have a lot of respect for Ant-Man and the way he plays the game. He doesn't flop. He's not looking for calls. He attacks the basket. He plays hard. He won them that game last night. So
next bet, Joel. Who had more points, Joel Embiid or Jalen Brunson? Both of us went Brunson. Brunson had 35. Embiid had 14.
And Brunson had like 30 by halftime. He goes crazy.
He does go crazy.
Yeah.
Wemby was -3 on the spread of points between he and Ant-Man. We both went Wemby. Wemby only had 11 points. Ant-Man had the 18, so he wins.
Here's the thing with Wemby, and I watched it last night. He's still young. And he gets into a game like that, and he's 0 for 8 from 3. All right, his shot wasn't falling. Well, then stop doing it.
Yeah.
Take your 7'9" height and go inside and score.
Yeah.
Do something different. And he was too late to figure that out. And it cost his team a little bit.
I have a feeling.
I think yes, he will. He will. This is his first conference semifinal. So
he has delivered on the hype.
He's had. Oh, there's no question. There's no question. But it just doesn't matter how hyped you are. You still have to learn.
Yes, you do.
And he's still learning.
Giants and Padres last night. Total score over under 8 runs.
We both went easiest
under.
Win ever.
Yes, it was 3-2 was the score for a total of 5. Randy Vasquez over under 5 1/3 innings pitched. We both went over. He went 5 2/3. So
a boy, Vasquez.
And then Jose Soriano's great pitching streak is officially over.
Yeah, he
gave up 5 runs last night, but over under 6.5 strikeouts. Both of us went over. He only had 5.
I was 4-4 last night, and you were 3-5. So
I am
it's not
struggling.
bad. Well, you are doing better in the pick to hit.
Yeah,
contest.
I can find the one guy to get the hit. I can't find multiple guys.
You picked Casey Schmidt last night, and he homered his first at bat. I picked Gavin Sheets, and like the rest of the Padres, he was tied up in knots up there.
Wasn't it only Jackson and Ramon Laureano had hits last night?
They had 4 base runners the whole game.
Ugh.
Let me tell you something. 1 base runner every other inning is not going to get you to the World Series, my friend.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
They looked, for all of the concerns we've got about their bad hitting, I thought I'm hoping last night was like the low point, but it was pretty low.
It was.
All right, we'll look at some of the games coming up tonight. As I mentioned earlier, if you didn't hear it, the spread in the Laker OKC game, I can't honestly believe that, but we'll tell you what that is if you missed it, and look at some of the other contests coming up as Gwynn and Chris resumes after we check some traffic, of course. From the Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second number 1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero, never met a pitch he couldn't swing at, and powerhouse hitter for the Expos, and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout. And this is the San Diego Padres locker room here in Cooperstown. Obviously, a couple of jerseys there and hats, gloves, all-star stuff. I think the most interesting thing in this entire display, though, especially this weekend, is a picture in the top corner of Angus Young. He's the guitarist for AC/DC, wearing a Trevor Hoffman uniform, obviously playing Hell's Bells. I know that Trevor went to many AC/DC concerts and was honored by sitting in the front row to watch AC/DC play Hell's Bells in his honor. But there's a picture of Angus Young playing Hell's Bells for Trevor Hoffman, wearing the 51 jersey right there. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers' great shortstop, Jack Morris, in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him. This is The Gwynn and Chris program on 97.3 The Fan from the Bill House Studios. We know how.
We know how.
Tony Gwynn Jr. is on his route to Oracle Park in San Francisco. He and Jesse have the call a little bit later on after Sam Levitt's pregame show at 5:45. Sammy will tell you everything you need to know about the Logan Webb versus Walker Buehler matchup tonight.
Yes, you will.
Walker Buehler's been capable of 5 or 6 shutout innings. Hate to tell you, Walker might be advisable tonight.
Yes.
The way the Padres are swinging the bat.
Yes.
Hasn't been pretty. We're waiting for a Padre lineup. Be interesting to see if Sung Mun Song makes his Padre debut tonight. He was recalled to replace the injured,
concussed
Jake Cronenworth. Jake goes down for 7 days minimum. Takes his 147 average with him. We'll see if Song makes his debut tonight or whether they put Fernando at second base.
They're taking quite a while. Usually they're pretty good about their lineups.
They might just be waiting to see if Song can get to the game.
I would assume he's already
Move
there.
was made, a little while ago.
Maybe.
All right, let's go for the picks tonight. Gambit stuff. And I mentioned it. OKC is 15.5 over the Lakers. Game 1. You willing to lay that, Skraby? I mean, you're not a Laker honk like Tony, of course.
I'm definitely not a Laker honk.
And you're not an OKC
honk
hater as much as I am. So are you willing to give that many points tonight?
I think 15.5 is a lot for a playoff game. I'll go with the Lakers.
Well, I'm going to go with the Lakers here. 15.5 might be the amount of times that SGA pushes a guy into the first row, getting his jump shot off. But that's a lot of points for a Laker, spread. But I'll be honest, I would be shocked. OKC's won some blowout games.
Yeah, they have.
All right, SGA minus 10 points or LeBron James tonight in the point 10. Department. LeBron, I don't think can keep up with him. LeBron. Yeah, I'm going to go SGA, even giving 10 points. The guy shoots all the time, and if he doesn't make them, what do? He's on the foul line. Shoots the 25 free throws a game. There's no way that he won't score 30, 35 points.
I'm thinking that 10 is too much, so I'm going to go with LeBron.
You're going to LeBron, okay. You talk about the poor stepchild series, Detroit and Cleveland,
Nobody
other than
cares.
the people in those two cities, does anybody even know this is happening? I will say that Bickerstaff, the coach of Detroit, was the coach of Cleveland a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah,
so there's
right.
a little intrigue there.
That is true.
Detroit's favored by 3.5 in game 1 at home. Pistons were able to come from way down to beat the Magic in that series. Now a fresh series for the Pistons.
I'm going to go Pistons until Cade Cunningham cools off.
I'm going to take the Pistons as well, based on the fact Cleveland looked terrible in the 3 road games in its first series. Which game will score more points? Total points. The Laker game or the Piston game? I'm going to go with the Lakers and OKC. I think Detroit and Cleveland could play one in the 90s. Expect the Lakers to get higher.
It does seem like those games end 99, 97 or something. So I'll go Laker OKC.
All right. Cade Cunningham, just mentioned him. 29 points. Over under for Detroit.
Detroit?
29? Yes.
Am I going first?
Yes. Detroit is pronounced, that's the French way, Detroit. Same way my wife calls it, not Target, but Target Boutique.
Yes, of course. A boutique. She adds the boutique word.
She does. I'm going down to the boutique. I'm like, oh, God.
I'm going to lie, or I'm going to admit that I saw this on SportsCenter just a second ago.
Okay.
Cade Cunningham has scored 30, or averaging 32.5 points in the playoffs, has 4 or more games over 30 points, so I'm going to say over.
Sounds like an over. I'll be honest with you, the one reason I think he scores 29 points or more is that the Pistons don't have a lot of really great options.
True.
So I'm going to go over also. All right, on to some baseball. Giants are favored tonight over the Padres.
That doesn't surprise
by 1.5 runs. I will say this: the Giants, crappy as they are now 3-1 against the Padres this year, right?
Yeah. Giants can't beat anyone except for the Padres.
They haven't looked very good.
And then last year, the Giants couldn't beat the Padres last year.
Yeah, well, this year they're beating them. It sure seems time to pick the Padres tonight. I don't feel great about it, though.
How could you after the effort last night? I'm going to go Padres. I'm going to go Padres. No, I'm going to go Giants. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Giving a 1.5. That means the Giants have to score at least 2 runs for you to win the bet.
I'm trying to reverse jinx it.
I don't know. The Giants can score 2 runs.
They scored 3 last night.
They did. All right, I'll take the Padres. You could have the Giants. 7.5 runs. It seems like a gimme, but who knows? It was last night. Over, under.
Under.
Yeah. I think you got to go under until we see either of these two teams start hitting the ball. Jacob deGrom pitching against the Yankees. By the way, the Yankees are just tearing it up right now. I've seen them put 12-1 last night, 17 one night. They're really, routing everybody. They'll get deGrom tonight.
Don't worry, they'll lose a couple games, and Aaron Boone's seat is going to get a little bit hotter.
As soon as they lose 1 in a row, they want to fire Aaron Boone. I talked to a big Yankee fan over the weekend, and I said, "What do you, I said, are you among those who want to get rid of Aaron Boone?" And he said he was scared to answer because he thought I was like asking him to be one of those people.
Oh,
and he was like, "No, I like Aaron Boone," and I said, "Yeah, well, you're one of the rare Yankee fans who do."
Say, the minority Yankee. Yeah, like
right?
when you like someone, you are in the minority for some reason.
Aaron Boone has done just fine. The only thing he has not done is won the World Series, and I get the Yankee fans think that it's their right to win it.
They've been there.
But it doesn't necessarily work the same way it did in the 1950s when there was 8 teams, right? It's a little different.
Aaron Boone didn't not cover first base or drop that ball in the outfield like Aaron Judge did.
His poor coaching led to that. Anyway, it's deGrom at the Yankees strikeouts or Ohtani at the Astros strikeouts. By the way, I forgot to look. Did Ohtani get on the board last night, hitting-wise?
I don't think so.
Let me check while you're making a pick here, because Ohtani was in an 0-for-14 slump.
I think he's over 17 now.
He is. He went 0-for-3 last night. Did have 2 walks, but still.
Oh, you know what? He needs a new scenery.
Let's trade him. Yeah,
he needs to change the scenery.
I think Yordan Alvarez would be a good trade. Just straight up DHs. He's there anyway. Just send him over across to the Astros. The Astros send the other guy. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I heard somebody on MLB Network suggest it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Stupid.
He
those
needs
guys
they
me
need.
Mad. They never mentioned the Dodgers need to change the scenery. Only the Padre players.
And Jaron Duran for some reason. I'm going to go.
Who gets more strikeouts after all that? DeGrom or Ohtani?
I would say Ohtani.
It does seem like an Ohtani thing. The Astros are not very good. I'll take DeGrom. Turns back the clock a little tonight or something. Christopher Sanchez. I brought him up because the Phillies are playing well now with Don Mattingly at the helm. And I'm actually not a Philly guy, but I'm happy for Don Mattingly. Because I am a Don Mattingly fan. They've gone 6-1 with him there. And but Christopher Sanchez, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Not this year. It's funny how these things work out. He looked pretty much unhittable last year. I just want to see his exact numbers this year because they're not anywhere near what they were. He's 2-2 with a 2.90. It's not terrible.
He's worked it down.
But he's worked it down. His whip, though, is 1.51. That is quite high for a pitcher of his caliber. Anyway, 6 1/3 innings against the A's. If he gets 6 1/3, he'll go over. The A's are in first place in the AL West. I love that note. I don't expect it to hold up, but I like it for now.
I'm going to go under.
You're going to go under? You're taking the A's?
Mm-hmm.
I think Sanchez is starting, as you said, to round into form. I'll go over. All right, we have one hockey game and then one more big bet at the end of it. Colorado and Minnesota, game 2 of the NHL. The first game was 9-6 Avalanche. The Wild today announced that they're benching their goalie. I wonder why. I wonder why.
I mean,
they're replacing him with a piece of Swiss cheese. Anyway, 9-6, the 5th highest scoring playoff game ever. So tonight, the over-under is 6.5 goals. Skraby, what do you think? Do you believe they can get 7 at least? Or does it revert the other way?
Crazy, but I'm going to go under.
You're going to go under. All right. I'll say over. I think they got to at least get 7. And then I had to put this in because we forgot to mention it yesterday. And Tony isn't here today or now, and I wanted to mention it to him. You seen the Aztec baseball team at all lately? Anything you've heard of anything?
I think they, as of yesterday, won 11 in a row.
11 in a row. Man.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I don't care who you're playing. That's still impressive.
Yeah.
I will say this. They also, along with UCSD, are 2 of the teams to beat UCLA this year. UCLA is currently 24-0 in the Big Ten.
Wow.
They've only lost 4 games all year. And
the Aztecs are 1.
And UCSD is another.
Wow.
Tonight, the Aztecs play UCSD. With their 11-game win streak, of course, I have to take Aztecs.
Is there a spread?
1.5. Aztecs favored. You want to take the Tritons?
No, I'll go with the Aztecs.
11 in a row. Congrats to them. That's a great streak they've got going. All right, more Gwynn and Chris after this. We're going to do some TMZ. There's some fun stuff happening in the celebrity sports world. Does we still include Mike Vrabel and the other lady I'm tired of talking about? I know her name. I'm tired of talking about
you know what? We should be tired of talking about Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them is fine. I'm just tired of Mike Vrabel getting the pass on this. It's quite remarkable.
I will say that one of the most annoying things that I heard the whole weekend was that they had a meet and greet or something with some New England Patriot, ticket holders or whatever, and they came out.
Oh, Mike Vrabel did.
Well, it was Mike Vrabel was going to be one of the guys there,
right.
but it was invite the Patriot fans, and we're going to have a close. You get to feel like you're kind of close up, and then Mike Vrabel came out and got a standing ovation. Like you talk about something that just makes you want to go right?
I've been in situations like that, and it's okay not to clap if you don't want to clap.
Or at least a sitting ovation. I mean, a rousing standing ovation. No. Please.
Like that's a Patriots fan being blinded to being a Patriots fan. Because everybody else can see the issues here. But to have a standing ovation for a guy who just ruined his family and someone else's family, and obviously Diana Ricci was a part of that.
Sure.
It's kind of weird to me.
You're not wrong. I don't think I could have stood and applauded there. Oh, man, we got big news with that lineup. Is Sun Mun Song in? We'll find out after the break.
Ben and Woods.
The gondola pulls in.
Yeah.
It goes very slow.
Yeah, it slows down for everybody.
Really slow. As we're getting off, over to my left, there's a couple getting in the gondola, going up the mountain. So it's the opposite for them. They're standing there. The gondola comes up. The door opens. You step on. Well, there was a commotion.
Uh-oh.
There was a commotion.
Someone fell.
There was a commotion, and Lori goes, "Hey, there's a commotion."
She said commotion?
I don't think she said that. But we go kind of, not hustling, but walking over there quickly. There's a lady who has fallen as she's trying to get into the gondola. She's now got one leg in the gondola.
Oh, no!
The other leg and body trapped underneath the gondola.
90.
No, she's probably in her late 50s. How do I say this best?
Oh, she's heavyset?
She's in the shape of somebody who's in their 70s. You've got to rescue the poor lady. She's trapped under the gondola. Of course, as soon as she falls and there's the commotion, the guy running the station stops the gondola.
Okay, I was going to ask.
Which means everybody on the mountain and 4 miles away has to stop. Everybody has to stop while we try to extricate the lady from the gondola.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Underneath the gondola. She's got one leg on the gondola. The rest of her body is underneath the gondola. And when I arrive to see what's going on, I'm kind of the first or second person there.
You're a first responder?
Pretty much. The guy running the gondola place is busy stopping
traffic.
The ride.
Yeah.
No, he's stopping the ride.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're kind of first there. Lori's behind me. The lady's on her back. She's looking straight up in the air. And the only description I have is one of utter panic and utter terror combined with total helplessness.
Oh, I thought you were going to say embarrassment.
No, total helplessness. She's not only trapped, but she's not even remotely doing anything to help herself. She's kind of in a panic, and you think something terrible is going to happen, or she does.
Okay.
I go over there. First thing, breathe.
That's what you said?
I told the lady to breathe.
That's good.
I said, you're going to be okay.
That's good.
Just breathe.
That's good.
Try to relax.
That was the perfect thing you could have said.
As I'm stupidly pulling this 250-pound gondola, trying to pull it off of her. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're getting
the gondola is way heavier than 250 pounds.
Yeah, right. 1,000-pound gondola.
So you're trying to move the gondola.
To just move it a little.
Is her leg how is she attached to this gondola?
Well, I told you her one leg's actually on the gondola in the doorway.
Okay.
Then the rest of her body's underneath. What is stuck with her in the gondola is her belly, not her leg.
Oh no.
That's right. Okay.
No.
So I'm pulling. By the time finally a couple more people pull and we are able to get enough airway to get her to scramble out of there. And then she immediately stepped on the gondola to go take her ride up the mountain. And off she went.
This is
I felt like I saved her life. I really do. I honestly feel like I almost saved her life.
I kind of will credit you with this.
You know, she was. I think if I didn't tell her to breathe, I think she would have gone into some sort of shock or whatever you do.
No,
she was
you're
going
right.
into a
You're
panic, Skraby. She was going into an absolute panic, and I had to calming her down. I think was the number one thing. She wasn't in any real danger, but she wasn't feeling great because she was trapped under the gondola.
But the fact that you said her belly was...
Yes, her belly, yeah. I'm telling you, Scrabe, it was a factor. And there was, there's a couple of people pulling on an arm trying to drag her out.
I'm crying.
I know. There's people on the other side with her arm. They're trying to drag her. I'm lifting the gondola so she can get a little room to get out of there.
You're like, hey, I'm going to take the gondola. It's lighter.
All right, I didn't say that. You did, but it was quite the scene.
I am happy that she's okay, obviously.
She's fine. If she got right on the gondola.
If this was a worse story, I would not be laughing, but she's fine. You did probably help her a lot more than you think you did.
I think so, because she was able to calm down just a tad. The gondola pulls in.
Yeah.
It goes very slow.
Yeah, it slows down for everybody.
Really slow. As we're getting off, over to my left, there's a you won't have to wait much longer to find out whether Sun Moon Song is going to make his Padre debut tonight. Matt Skraby with a Padre lineup for tonight's game against the San Francisco Giants as Gwynn and Chris rejoins you. A TMZ segment is coming up after you get these lineups.
Yes, it is a very different lineup today.
Yeah, shaking things up, man. I think almost the old Stammen put the names in a hat today type of lineup,
It kind of seems like that.
Yeah, a little strange. Everybody's moving around.
Leading off for the San Diego Padres tonight, Jackson Merrill playing center field.
Can we stop there?
Okay.
Well, I'm just telling you why he's leading off. He's hit 700 in his career against Logan Webb.
That makes sense.
And 5 home runs.
And finally hit a home run last night.
So
first time
you've got to get him as many at-bats as you can against Logan Webb. So that's the first one.
Yes. Batting second, Manny Machado playing third base. Batting third, Miguel Andujar DHing. Cleaning up for the Padres today, Gavin Sheets playing first base. Here is a surprise. And I kind of love this. Fernando Tatis Jr. playing right field, batting fifth. And then you got Xander Bogaerts, shortstop, batting sixth. Nick Castellanos, seventh, playing left field. Luis Campusano in the 8th spot, catching. And then Sungmoon Song in the 9th spot, playing second base for Walker Buehler.
Yeah, Sungmoon Song does make his Padre debut tonight. If you just tuned in, Jay Cronenworth placed on the 7-day concussion list today. Sungmoon Song called up. He'll get to make his first start as a Padre tonight. Look, Fernando's batting 5th. If he keeps swinging the way he did last night, there's a few more spots you can put him down to. I don't mean it in a, I'm giving up on Fernando type of way, but he swung it really bad last night. And, I think the frustration's starting to get to him. So I think you have to try to get him somewhere where you can at least feel like maybe some of the pressure's off. And he needs a home run.
He does.
He just needs a home run. And and I know the only way he's going to get it is to not think about trying to hit a home run.
That's very difficult.
And that's easier said than done. It absolutely is. So
I like it because the 5th spot seems to be a good spot in the Padres lineup for guys who are struggling. Seems
One
like
thing
it gets them going a little bit.
I'm just going to say this straight up. I mean, lineups are lineups. It's these guys got to go out and do the job, right? I mean, you got 9 guys, go hit the ball and let's go. It doesn't matter where you are or what you're batting. But I feel if it was good enough for Bruce Bochy, it should be good enough for me. And Bruce Bochy's rule was if you hit a home run in the previous game, you start the next game.
Yeah, that's a comment on the chat. Why isn't Laureano playing?
And Laureano's not in. I mean, he hit a home run in his last at bat. To me, he's got to at least have a decent mindset. But so he doesn't play tonight. And at the expense of, he's out. Why? So we can get Castellanos' bat in there?
My only explanation is that they have a calendar and Laureano's day off was today.
He just had a day off, though, not very much long ago. I think it was Saturday or something, or Friday.
They've told us, though, they are going to give these guys a lot of time off.
Well, when you're not scoring any runs at all, the insertion of Castellanos over Laureano doesn't make me feel great. Sorry to say. Maybe Nick will prove me wrong like he always does and have a big offensive night.
Yeah, just keep saying that.
Yeah.
And it'll work for you.
All right, let's go to some other stuff. First, check traffic, and then we got a little TMZ. Some news on Stephon Diggs. Is he on his way to jail? Are they going to lock him up and throw away the key? What do you think, really?
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
In San Diego, the 8 East is heavy. You're going to see those brake lights from SeaWorld and stretches all the way to Waring Road. The 805 South heavy from the 52 getting onto the 8. With San Diego traffic, I'm Tiffany Wittstrom.
If you don't know your sports gossip, can you really call yourself a sports fan? It's time to bring together sports and celebrity gossip. We call it the 30-mile zone, mainly so we don't get sued by the real company. On 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let's get into this real quick to start, and that would be Stephon Diggs has been found not guilty of assault and strangulation. Number one, that is a wild thing to have to
Strangulation
say.
Was kind of, that's a hell of a claim.
It is. It is, but he's not guilty, and the reason I'm going to condense this whole trial down, it only lasted 2 days, by the way.
And he's completely off the hook, exonerated, right?
Yes.
Okay, and they can't retry him or any of that stuff.
That would be double jeopardy, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
He was found not guilty because they could not trust the testimony of the woman who was bringing the allegations against him, and so there was some money requests, there were some strange things that happened. And the prosecution said, hey, look at this, jury. This person might just be out here for money. Apparently it didn't happen. We'll never know, but Stephon Diggs is not guilty.
He's in the clear. Let's just take it on the surface that he didn't do it. And this lady was trying to get money. Here's the only problem. Because we don't know what happened. We really probably will never know.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have to just, we have to go with it, man. That's what the ruling was, right? All these people sat in court and they figured it all out and they said she's lying.
Yep.
The thing that bothers me about this is that there's going to be a time in the future when some young lady is pushed and shoved and roughed up, and then she's going to claim it And then we're all going to go, oh, no, she's just like that last person. Remember the Stephon Diggs woman?
Yeah.
That's the problem with this kind of stuff. And, I'm not out for blood on Stephon Diggs. If he didn't do it, good. He didn't do it. Let's move on. And that's exactly what will happen. But the notion that there are people, and I'm not saying it didn't happen, but the notion that there's a woman in this case who just said, I'm going to make up a total fabricated story that I was beaten up, strangled, and all of this stuff, and no one's gonna be able to check my story, and then I'm gonna shake him down for money. I'm not saying that didn't happen. What I'm saying is it's too bad for the woman that really does get beat up somewhere down the road, and I hope, you know what I mean? Like the point is every one of these has to be separate. You can't say, well, you saw what happened in the last one. Let's just hope that was the case. The lady could not be believed.
The
Stephon
judge
is,
while her name is Jamila Adams, is who was alleging
the
this.
The
claimant.
Yeah,
the judge said that while she was on the stand, Adams was on the stand, she kept answering questions in a way that wasn't needed. She kept adding things to try to muddle up things. That's what the reporting is saying, obviously.
We weren't in the courtroom.
But that's the news. Stephon Diggs not guilty. He moves forward.
All right. Where is he now? Is he playing, or
I think he's still with the Patriots?
Did he get in the Super Bowl? I don't recall him making much of an impact. I thought this was funny. You'd have to find the video of it, but look for it. Knicks won last night, beat the Sixers big. Former Knick and Cavalier J.R. Smith, leaving the Madison Square Garden, somehow was trampled.
He was
by the throng at Madison Square Garden. I'm laughing because I believe he ended up okay.
Yeah, but he ended up on the ground.
He took quite a beating. Yes. Where were the people in a hurry to get out of the?
No, they were just so excited.
No, they were just so excited that they won. Oh, that they saw him.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
I
thought they were just people leaving, and he just got caught up in it.
I can't get the video on our stream, but if you Google J.R. Smith and Knicks, look, Chris, look how many people are next to him trying to get a piece of him, and they knock him to the ground, and he says, "Relax, man." He's on the ground right now.
People are standing on his chest asking for an autograph.
And all these phones are hanging over. It is a weird scene. It's a weird scene.
Can I just remind the people there? It's J.R. Smith. Like, it wasn't Walt Frazier.
He wasn't a great Knick, was he?
Nothing special.
I was thinking maybe he was some great Knick, but I don't believe he was.
Do you know the Knicks last time they won the NBA title was 53 years ago? J.R. Smith wasn't alive.
That is true.
And, he's no Patrick Ewing even. You're knocking him over to get a piece of J.R. Smith.
I think people are very excited about the win.
I guess so. What you got? Anything else?
Yeah, there's this weird story that Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant's widow.
Don't like this one at all.
No, the rumor
it's nothing
mill.
She did.
No, apparently. No. The rumor mill is so bad, in fact, that she had to go on Instagram to put this speculation to bed.
What's the matter with you people out there?
But people are saying that she's either walking down the aisle again to get married or expecting a baby. And obviously it's her choice, but at the same time, this is a rumor.
She said it's all a bunch of it's a bunch of a malarkey.
Phooey. And I agree with her.
There's two things. A, if it's totally fabricated, which it seems like it is, then shame on everybody for even getting involved in this thing. It's still an incredibly sad
I don't
story.
know. Yes, I don't know the person. Oh, sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I just want to finish up by saying, secondly, if Vanessa Bryant has gotten to a point in her life where she might have met somebody and could conceivably have a wedding, I think, is there anything wrong with that at this point? I mean,
no.
I think we'd all like to believe that she's,
it's not our choice.
It's not our choice. I think she's been pretty fair to Kobe's memory.
Yeah.
Again,
it's not our choice.
There's no law on, how long you have to mourn, or, some people would mourn forever. They would never consider it. And that's their right too.
Exactly.
But if she's pregnant, running around, and you're trying to make her look bad, and And that could get
That's
a little
the thing
sketchy.
I don't understand. I don't know any of these people because I don't want to know any of these people. But who is the person that sees this online and just runs with it and like spreads that news? Because it's kind of an important thing to not spread. Like these rumors are just so bad. All right, Chris, what else you got?
I got Ramon Laureano 0 for 7 in his career against Logan Webb, and I got Nick Castellanos 4 for 8, and so maybe that'll be Craig Stammen's. It's pretty small, but that could be Stammen's answer as to why they are doing what they're doing tonight. How about Lawrence Taylor was in the news?
Yes,
and apparently he's okay. I don't know a lot about pancreatitis.
I don't
sound
either.
A lot of fun.
No, it doesn't.
LT's been in the hospital for over a week, but is apparently out now and feeling better. Lawrence Taylor's lived a hard life.
Yes, he has.
He had a drug or two along the way.
A drug or two.
Yes. But LT is still legendary, and we're not even talking about our own LT. Whatever happened to our own LT, by the way? LaDainian Tomlinson, one of the all-time most loved athletes in San Diego history, and I don't know where he is. He was on NFL Network for a minute there.
He was. I can't find any news on him either.
LT, where have you gone? Our LT.
Maybe he is doing what a lot of people do and just disappearing into the ether, which is probably better for him anyway.
One of my all-time, I'd have to say, of all the people I got to cover in San Diego, and I'm lucky to have got to cover any of them, LT's on everyone's list of great guys.
Yeah.
One of the really just super good guys.
Come on in and tell me I sent you.
There you go.
I think he had an Arby's steakhouse in New York.
I just don't know where he's gone to. LT, we turn our lonely eyes to you. A nation turns its only eyes to you, LT. Where'd you go?
Continuing on.
Yes,
in this segment,
more TMZ action.
Remember when DK Metcalf punched or slapped a fan in the stands? Remember that?
Yes, and I thought
game?
it looked like it might have been a little, not the best behavior.
By who? Both?
Well, I imagine both. Yes, I imagine whoever incited DK, I think would have to be dealt with. But you and I both know you can't just walk up and punch a guy in the stands, can you?
No, you can't.
Apparently you can't, right? He got away with it.
Yeah, there's no charges for the fan incident. Remember this guy who got DK so upset, kept calling him DeKalen, which is his true name, but he goes by DK. DK goes by DK, and this guy was like, I'm not going to stop calling him DeKalen. From the beginning, this guy has been a troll. This guy has been trying to find some way to turn this into money, some sort of grift, but he hasn't been able to, and I am very happy about that. He even brought a lawsuit against DK. It's just ridiculous.
But I told you that back in the day, there was the guy from the Washington Bullets, now Wizards, Robin something or other. Remember we looked him up? He was a senator. He was like, Robin Ficker. And he used to sit behind the bench of the visiting team, but most loudly when the Bulls were in town.
Yes.
And just like you would see him stand up and scream into the ear of Michael Jordan from 3 feet away.
It is pretty crazy.
And Michael Jordan just played basketball. There was never a thing, and I'm not just saying Jordan, everybody in that era just kind of laughed the guy off. And so, you didn't see any of them punch the guy, maybe even though he was asking for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have to get on DK Metcalf for breaking down and punching the guy. And I don't like the fact that they're just saying, it's okay. No big deal.
I'm fine with it because
you're okay with it.
This seems like it was poetic justice.
I get it, but Robin Ficker, if anybody was ever going to get poetic justice, it would have been that guy. And nobody decked him. And I don't know that would have been
I would
good.
assume that someone in the 80s, 90s would have got decked before a guy in 2025.
I have a really good bit of news to close this segment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This is something we needed to hear.
What?
Because you're an NFL fan and I'm an NFL fan.
Oh my gosh.
The NFL was going to be under the unwatchful eye of replacement officials.
Tell me some good news, Chris.
And I mean, they were even bringing officials in to teach these guys, how to. What was the fail Mary and all of these things that the replacement, because refereeing football, I'm sorry, it's got to be the hardest thing in the world. You're going to bring guys in who can't do it. The guys that are there can hardly do it. Fortunately, the NFL Refs Association the league, the Refs Association, new collective bargaining agreement. It's progressed far enough that the union has scheduled a ratification vote Thursday night when formally approved by both sides. That will avoid the need for replacement officials. Whew.
Good. There was no need for that. There was no need for that.
Yeah, I hate to say that the officials held the hammer, but
they did.
The NFL just had to give those guys whatever they needed.
The negotiation
you've got to have them.
Was just the officials sending back the Fail Mary video, and they're like, "This is going to happen.
You want more of this?
Is going to happen.
Yes, give us money. More Gwynn and Chris.
Chris versus the feds.
Yep, right."
Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick, so goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not mean for that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm going to laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. Doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has mold or something, but let's see how hot it is. Let's go. There's a little bit of spice there. It's going. Oh, man. This is hot. Not that bad, though. I still have this side to go. It is getting hot. I'm not gonna lie. My mouth is like getting crazy. Now it's kicking in. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish this. Honestly, it's getting serious. I gotta go with the milk. My mouth is dying right now. Yeah, this is not fun, guys. Never gonna do that again because my mouth is on fire. Thank you for listening to 97.3 The Fan. Be back shortly. I would be back shortly if the thing will click. See, I'm clicking. I have no idea what's happening. It's not playing any commercials right now. Well, this is just great, everybody. Let me see if I could try to start another one. All right. Well, this is awesome. On the air right now with no help, and there are no commercials to be played. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, everybody? You're getting a real live thing right here. This is real live Matt Skraby. I'm going to have to restart Wide Orbit real quick, so goodbye, Wide Orbit. It's not even closing. I'm going to text Adam, and I'm going to say, Adam, I tried to go to break and the commercials did not play, and the program won't shut down. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have to do some Control-Alt-Delete over here. Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, I got it. Task Manager. It's not coming up. There it goes. Task Manager came up, everybody. I have no idea. I'm way too generous with my stroke giving. Never mind.
Are you really?
Never mind.
Wait.
I did not
Let's
mean for
explore
that to happen. I did not.
That sounds like a promo to me.
Skraby's giving out strokes. I can't wait to hear that one. I'm gonna laugh for a while on that one.
Nate says, Skraby, maybe you should date her.
You might be a generous stroke giver, but I don't think she really wants to leave her boyfriend for that.
All right, that was good. That was good. In full disclosure, I'm reading this. Tony can't gather himself right now. That was a good one, Chris. That was a really good one. So I saw this at 7-Eleven, and I had to get it. It's called the One Chip Challenge. It was sitting there in the aisle, and I thought, why not? Because I am into spicy stuff. But this thing looks pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. It says a Reaper pepper and a Scorpion pepper. It's also in the shape of a coffin, which doesn't make me very happy about that. It doesn't make me feel good. Oh, extreme heat, it says. I'm going to try a little bit first, just so I don't die, I guess. That's the thing I'm saying. This looks... I don't even know if I should be eating this. It looks like it has...
Maybe older than you, Skraby, but wiser as well. Welcome into the 4 o'clock, everybody. You'll be the judge of that. Welcome into the 4 o'clock, everybody. Hour, Crisello and Skraby here from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Tony Gwynn Jr. Was with us earlier. If you missed our interview with Alden Gonzalez of ESPN, Padre fans, I believe you'll want to hear what Alden has to say. Because, you know, when he says it, it just seems like it's a little more official than when we say it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like you could look at us and try to say what's our angle on it.
Yeah.
But Alden Gonzalez, he's got no angle. He's just answering the question straight up and basically saying the same thing we are. And that is that the Padres are only going to go as far as Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill, and Manny Machado take them this year, which means even though they're 20-14 now, they're not going to go very far.
No.
Unless these guys get going. Hopefully Merrill had a breakthrough game last night. You combine that with the fact that he's facing Logan Webb tonight, a pitcher who he destroys in his career. Hopefully that'll, be a back-to-back maybe nights for Jackson and get him off the proverbial schneid. The Padres have dropped Fernando to the 5 hole today. As I said, I mean, there's still more. You could put him 7th. He's got to start hitting like a guy that can hit. That's just it. I don't know what else to say.
I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise. I think it's putting him in the middle of the order. He's going to drive in some runs. He's going to get that confidence back.
Please. He's not going to get anything if he swings like he did last night. That's for sure. Manny is starting to show some signs, but still far below his normal. If you just are tuning on into the show, I think it's pretty big Padre news today. Jake Cronenworth placed on the 7-day concussion list, and Sun Moon Song called up to take his spot on the roster, and Song, the Korean infielder, will make his Padre starting debut. I know he came in as a pinch runner, I think, in the Mexico series.
I think you're right.
He is making his first start tonight. The other lineup note tonight, Castellanos is in left field. Laureano, despite the 9th inning homer last night, will take a seat. So we'll see if Craig Stammen gets the last laugh on that
has some
call.
fans a little upset.
Yeah, it has me a little upset. It just does. I saw the stats though, and I read them to you. Right, Castellanos is 4 for 8. He's got a home run against Logan Webb, and Laureano's 0 for 7. So, but that seems pretty small sample size.
It is.
But
very small sample
size.
That
might be what they're going with.
Anytime we talk about sample sizes, that is exactly the definition of a small sample size.
Seems like a small sample size. Did we say that enough in the last 13 seconds?
Seems like
a small sample size.
Of a sample
We
size.
said it a lot there.
I always feel smart when I say sample size, because I feel like some scientist or something like, oh, the sample size is not enough.
Well, here's a bigger sample size for all of you out there. The last 8 games, the Padres have scored 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 3, erupted for a 9, and then lost with a 7.
And that was against the Cubs. Like what was it, Monday? Last Monday, they beat the Cubs 9-5, and I'm thinking, okay, here we go.
Haven't been over the 3 mark any of the last 4 games. All right, let's go to Chris versus the fans. Where are you people? Do we have fans? Maybe we have to call
Don't ask that question.
I was going to say,
we might not want
I'm just saying, you're Padre fans. Come on, where are you fans? Chris versus the Padre haters. 833-288-0973. If you want to play, there's room for you.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, you are playing for a qualification, and it's a shot at the grand prize, a $500 gift card to Westgate, Las Vegas, the home of legendary Vegas fun, now offering the Breakaway from Fees package, including a $75 daily dining credit, 2-day spa passes, daily cabaret tickets, complimentary valet parking, and $0 resort fees. Special rates
That's
starting
a big deal now.
$89 a night. Book now at westgatelasvegas.com. Yes, it is. The resort fees?
Yeah, having none of them. Jackson Merrill, by the way, starting against Logan Webb, batting leadoff tonight as the Padres shake it up a little bit. 10 for 15 lifetime. 667 against Logan Webb. That's crazy good.
That is really good.
So
especially against a guy like Logan Webb.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, right. Logan Webb's not
it's not slouch.
Not normally, no.
All right, let's get to our first contestant for today. Oh, I didn't read the rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today. All right, let's go to Andrew. First name I saw. Hello, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hello.
Thanks
hello.
Thanks for playing.
Are you ready?
Of course. Ready.
Here we go.
When you go by, I'm just curious. I know a lot of people named Drew. Are they all Andrews who shorten to Drew, or Andrew? Andrew, do you have any comment on that? Sorry.
Yeah, most Drews don't like to be called Andys. Most Andys don't like to be called Drews.
Where do you come in on that? You're just Andrew. You're both.
I used to be an Andy in high school and college.
Now you've grown up to Andrew. Okay.
My brother-in-law, his name is Andrew. It's not his friends call him Andy, but I don't know that he particularly likes Andy.
This caller here is named Andrew
I know.
well.
I know.
Oh,
it's good stuff. All right, here we go. Question number 1.
It's like people to me that are women that are named Christina who go by Tina.
Why?
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's weird cutting off the first part of the name. Like,
okay.
I think it would be more
like, well, you're named Topher.
Yeah, but who calls me Topher? Nobody.
But there's a Topher Grace. He's an actor.
One guy, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Poor Andrews had to put up with all this.
Here we go, Andrew.
Give him a question already.
What former professional boxer had a cameo in The Hangover?
Oh, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson. Chris loves this part of the movie.
I do. I love that. I just love the whole scene when they go, well, have what's the Zach Galifianakis character? I forget his name, but have him do it.
Why do I forget it?
I do too. And what's his name? Bradley Cooper goes, he just took a punch from Mike Tyson. And I mean, I know it's all movie magic, but it looked like he just crushed him.
Zach Galifianakis' character's name's Alan.
Alan, yeah.
All right. He did just crush him. That was a great movie.
Yeah, great movie. That's one I can agree with you when you say great movie. Yeah,
all right.
I agree
the
with
other
you
two are not great movies.
No, they're not great, no. The first one,
though. Let's go with this one. What is the name of Jason and Travis Kelce's podcast?
Oh, I have no idea, but I'm going to say Kelsey R. Us.
Kelsey R. Us. That is incorrect, Chris. What is the name of Jason and Travis Kelce's podcast?
I've heard it before, but it wasn't enough to stick in my mind. So I'm going to go with... Is there something tricky with the name Kelsey that would work? I'm going to say, how about We Love Taylor?
The Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I know that's wrong. What is it?
It's called New Heights.
Oh, yeah,
New
no
Heights.
chance. But that's where they're from or something, right? I believe they grew up in that neck of the woods.
I have no idea, and this is going to be a hater comment, but I love the podcast until everybody in the world started listening to the podcast.
Don't hate that thinking.
Okay.
Because it got a little bit too big for them.
And then they started talking about Taylor Swift instead of like football stories and things like that.
Yeah.
Did you see Travis Kelce at the Met Gala last night?
No.
Look up some pictures of him.
I choose to be a Timothée Chalamet guy on this one, who didn't go to the Met Gala so they could go see his team, the Knicks, play. That won me a vote or two.
That sounds way more fun than
way
the Met
better.
Gala.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, here we go. Andrew, you are on to question number 3. All right, let's do a name game. I'm going to give you some names. You're going to tell me what team these guys all played together on.
Boy, I really thought I'd be good at these, but I'm not.
Jake Peavy. I'm sorry?
Did they play on the team at the same time? Or
Yes, they had to play on the team at the same time.
You don't
Very
need to
good
name the
question.
year or anything. Just
no,
name
just
the
the team he's looking for.
Jake Peavy, Chris Sale, AJ Przinsky.
Brother.
Oh my gosh.
Jake Peavy, Chris Sale, AJ Przinsky.
They all played for the same team at the same time? Man, I hate this question. Andrew, what do you think? Want to give it a shot?
I will say the Rangers.
Rangers. Stay there.
Yeah, I don't remember AJ Przinsky here, but I'll go Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Jake Peavy did pitch for the Red Sox. I didn't realize. It's wrong, though.
It's wrong. Okay.
It was the 2012 White Sox.
Peavy was a White Sox for like
Stay
5
right there,
minutes.
Andrew. I'll come get you in the break.
I didn't think Przinsky played for the Red Sox. I didn't remember Peavy playing for the White Sox. So that's what worked out for you, Andrew. Congrats. You are the winner of Chris vs. the Fans. I got to do my work studying or something on these.
I thought you would have been good at this because you play the Immaculate Grid every single day.
Yeah, I know. You've been what can I say? You've been nailing
By the
me
way,
on this one.
I played it the other day, and one of the categories was a Philly who played center field. Tony Gwynn Jr.
Anthony.
0.6%.
Yeah,
used.
nobody guesses. Well, Anthony's a great one to keep in the back of your mind for that game because he gets low numbers.
If you do play that game, just always think of Tony Gwynn Jr. because he will give you a good score.
Well, you can only think of him when it's,
of course, when it fits.
It has to be a Brewer Philly or a Philly Dodger or a Brewer Dodger.
He was also with the Nationals. Didn't play any games with the Nationals.
But he didn't play the Nationals, so no good. You got to play in the game.
Oh, you got to play in the game. The ones that are really hard for me are like, what was it today? Royals and Cardinals. I searched my brain. I could not think of
Couldn't think
anyone.
of a Royal Cardinal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you Daryl Porter.
Okay,
he's
there you
back
go.
in the day.
I mean, that's a good score then, probably.
Way back in the day. All right, good on you, Andrew. Thanks for everybody called in. I think Andrew was the only guy who got to play today. You know how it works with Chris vs. the Fans. You don't know how it's going to work. That's kind of the whole idea of it. When we come back, I've been looking forward to this segment. I don't know if you're ready for it yet, Skraby, and I know it's kind of something that this is in the Big Five, but it's not too early for an NFL power rankings. We're still, 3 months from training camp?
It's going to be here faster than we know it.
But our friends at ESPN decided to come out with a power rankings based on everyone's roster now after the draft.
Oh, sweet.
You will not believe where the 49ers ranked, and you really won't believe where the Dolphins ranked.
Oh.
Just think about where you would rank those teams, and then we'll tell you where they really are when Gwynn and Chris continues after some traffic.
Craig Stammer joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Craig, you get
Costello, Skraby. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's. Authentic Mediterranean cuisine. Coronado, La Jolla. Dining, takeout options. Spiro'sCuisine.com. Tony's at the ballpark. We're at the Bill Howe Studios. We know how. Sam Levitt is preparing a Padre pregame show for us. He'll have it in about 90 minutes. Before that, though, Scrabe, you and I got a few things to take care of, including a big five at the bottom of this hour.
Yes, we got a good one.
Yeah, let's do a little NFL talk. The draft is behind us now. And, you know, a little shakeup in terms of, you know, who drafted who and how teams look now. So ESPN's got their after the draft rankings, power rankings. And we've talked about this before. The power rankings mean absolutely nothing when you consider the fact there's playoffs. And, you know, it's all decided actually on the field. But I like to look at them sometimes because it gives me an idea what people are thinking. And I know the Dolphins are supposed to be bad this year. Everybody says it's going to. I mean, Skraby, I have people that I don't know, never met before, don't even know that I'm on the radio.
Oh.
Come up to me when I'm wearing my Dolphin shirts or whatever I am around town and apologize for me. Like, sorry that you have to root for such a horrible team. Like, I'm like, oh my God, is it that bad? Apparently it is. The Dolphins, out of 32 teams in the NFL, according to ESPN's rankings today, are 32nd. There is not one team in football below the Dolphins after what they did in the draft.
I can't believe this.
I told you they did I think a good job on the draft. Who knows how the players will work out, but they got big offensive linemen. They got a starting cornerback and Chris Johnson from San Diego State, which I loved, of course. But, you know, they didn't fall in love with the shiny object. They got a couple of good linebackers who make tackles and have statistics to back it up. They're building from the inside out, which is what they've never done before. I don't know that 32nd isn't a tad low, especially when you consider 31st is the Jets.
See, that's the thing. I cannot put
like,
any team
they're
above
worse than the Jets
or below the Jets.
Right.
The Jets were. They didn't even have an interception, I don't think, last year. They
did not have an interception
bad.
last year. Not one ball was tipped up in the air and caught by a Jet.
I think the Dolphins are going to win more games than the Jets next year.
They probably will. The Browns are 30th. The Cardinals have moved all the way up to 29th, I guess, with the Jeremiah Love drafting, I guess. I'm not
Fernando
sure why.
Mendoza apparently is putting the Raiders into the Super Bowl.
He's got them up to 28th. Yeah. Fernando
Clay says,
Mendoza, 28th.
Clay says on the chat, please tell Ella, welcome to my long-lived hell as a Browns fan.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't love it. I don't like – see, people think that, like, it's okay with me because, like, yeah, well, okay, let's just tank and be the first draft pick. And I hate that. Like, I want to win every game that my team plays.
But if it doesn't matter,
right?
If the team's terrible.
You're right. It doesn't matter, but I still don't like losing games. The Titans are even 27th. They're like 6 from the bottom. Who do they have?
I don't understand how that could be either.
Anyway, I'll throw this last one in there. The Falcons are 26th. Have they fallen that quickly? I mean, remember, you know, last year they were supposed to win that division hands down with Penix and Bijan and the whole thing.
I'm sorry, the Falcons don't really know what they're doing.
I would like to see the Falcons hire one Adam Klug.
Me too.
As a consultant, because I think he knows more than they do.
He might.
He really might. You guys, we you know, Adam's our guy, he's our boss. We'd listen to him. He keeps us in line. But he's a freaky, crazy knowledge guy when it comes to the Falcons and their draft and their roster and stuff like that. Like almost too much so for any normal fan.
I've heard.
In fact, I can't even call him a normal fan. He's too much for any fan.
He's a fanatic.
Yeah, he is the definition of fanatic. when it comes to the Falcons.
I've heard him before walking around studio talking to someone on the phone, and it's like deep Falcons talk.
Yeah, he's way deep in it. So maybe they should just bring him in. How about the Saints? 25th. Things are looking up for the Saints.
I actually didn't mind what the Saints did last year.
All right, whatever. Saints were terrible. The 49ers, you got a ranking guess for them? Your
middle
team,
of the pack.
Middle of the pack. All right, where's that? Like 14th?
16th?
How about 8? They love the 49ers. They love themselves some Mike Evans and Christian Kirk. They like the draft choice.
I do love the Christian Kirk signing.
DeJon Scribbling, Ricky Pearsall. You've still got your big tackle to block
Trent
the entire
Williams.
Offensive line and give your Mr. Irrelevant a little time to throw.
Yeah.
Still got McCaffrey. He's always going to be good.
They still have Brandon Ayuk somehow.
They're not going to keep him. There's no way.
No, they've been
he'll
trying
stay.
to.
Why can't they just release him? Why?
Because then
it goes on the cap or something?
I don't know what happens with that, but there's a reason why they're not doing it.
All right, real quick, Scrabe, before the bottom. The 49ers are number 8. Give me the 7 teams that are ranked ahead of them. How many can you get? I'll give you 7 guesses. See how many of 7 you can get right.
Well, let's go
These
Eagles.
are the teams that are ranked ahead of the 49ers. Why the Eagles?
Because they're always good.
I mean, the 49ers whipped them in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have.
A.J. Brown kept dropping the ball. The Eagles are 5th, so you got 1. 1 for 1.
I'm going to think.
Get 6 more guesses. You're looking
Chiefs?
for teams ahead of the 49ers.
Really?
Chiefs are pretty far down here, 12th.
Wow.
So you got now the best you can do is 6 out of 7.
What about Buffalo Bills?
Bills are always going to be there. They're 4th.
Yep,
That's correct.
What about the Ravens?
Ravens, that's going to be
Really?
They're 10th. Remember, John Harbaugh not there anymore. Different world.
Please don't say the Patriots.
You get 5 out of 7. The Patriots are 6th. They are ahead of the 49ers.
That's fake.
You got 4, 5, and 6. You have 3 guesses left. You don't have 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, Rams?
But the Rams, they're 2.
Seahawks?
Seahawks are 1. Super Bowl team. I'll give you one more guess. And then
Broncos?
Broncos are 3. See, you knew what you were doing. The only one you missed that's ahead of you is the Packers.
Yes.
Packers are 7, Niners 8. Packers, I don't see how they can win anything without their assistant GM, their assistant to the defensive coordinator who's gone.
Yeah.
Their backup quarterback who's gone. Because all of those guys are now on the 32nd best team in football.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I've heard that in the Green Bay facilities, they're just like staring at the wall, wondering what to do.
Well, I also heard that the Green Bay facilities, they had an old projector that they were going to throw in the trash. Decided to send it down to Miami.
Okay.
You guys here, go ahead. You could have our hand-me-downs.
All right. Very nice.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
That's good. The NFL's sharing.
There's an old photo of Vince Lombardi on the wall. Just doesn't
throw it
really
down there
fit.
too.
Doesn't really fit with the motif in Green Bay anymore. Shipping it down to Miami.
Send them a little sliver of the frozen tundra.
All of the stuff that the Packers don't want or need anymore, the Dolphins get it now. Thank you very much. One Padre note, if you just tuned in, Sung Moon Song makes his starting debut tonight. He'll be 9th in the order. Called up today, replaced Jake Cronenworthy, goes on the 7-day concussion list. That's probably the biggest news of the day around here. Padres Giants coming up. Before all that, Skraby and I go over a Big 5.
Gwynn and Chris on the Fan.
Blowouts seem like they're kind of all the rage right now in the NBA playoffs. Just heard that report detailing the Knicks blowout of the Sixers. How about this? In Detroit, first game of the Cleveland-Detroit series, still in the first quarter, 32-14. Detroit jumping out to a huge lead here.
That's crazy.
18 points in the first quarter. Lakers and Thunder about an hour away for their game one. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. in San Fran. Skraby here with a big 5 to share with us. Looking forward to it, Skrabe. Going to see what's going on out there today.
Okay.
Before we get to it, I wanted to remind you that yesterday I kind of lost it when I read a report that MLB Network's Greg, whoever he is,
Amsinger,
yes, thought it'd be a really good idea for the Padres to trade Fernando to the Mets so that we could get the injured Francisco Lindor and a couple of other pieces.
Which I don't want Lindor.
No, whatever. But basically claiming that Fernando needs, a
change of scenery.
Change of scenery. And, we brought up, Ben was the one who kind of got me on this going. But Ben said, well, if then Ohtani needs a change of scenery too. He's 0 for his last 17, which he truly is. So aren't the Dodgers trading him?
They should be.
Anyway, today, now another report. I mean, this is like one a day now.
Are these report? I want to call these rumors.
Whatever, yeah. Zachary Reimer, Bleacher Report, has now linked Bryce Harper to the Padres, saying that's a pretty good landing spot for the aging, expensive slugger.
Yeah, what?
I mean, there's just no way that would ever happen. The Padres are not going to spend another $27.5 million to add to their payroll on a guy whose career is going downhill fast.
I don't understand it. The Padres, believe it or not, to all the reporters out there, the Padres don't really want to get older and worse. I don't know if people know that, but they certainly put out these trades like they do.
Yeah, and you know what? So every day, I guess we're going to have one of these really stupid rumors until when are they going to stop? I mean, I guess as long as the Padres lose a couple of games, they're going to have to make a trade.
Number 5,732, Chris. Do you think Fernando would want to play in Philly?
Well, I don't think
he's got
he
it
would.
Good here.
I don't think he would be given the
choice, but he's got it good here. Like,
he's loved, but
and I'm not saying that Fernando wants out. He's not saying any of this.
It's saying the
stupid MLB Network.
Well, these are just reports. The first one was MLB Network just trying to make something up, and this is Bleacher Report making something up. And, maybe I shouldn't even be giving them any attention. But I give them the attention because it bothers me. It makes me mad that they're, presenting this as news when it's just absolutely not news. All right, let's go to the Big Five. Please check me some traffic so I can get home and out of here.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
In San Diego, the 805 South heavy from the 52 to the 94. The 8 East heavy from SeaWorld to San Diego State. I'm Tiffany Wickstrom, San Diego Traffic.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
One more thing on this whole trade bait. It's more of rage bait is what they're trying to do here.
In terms of what? Get us mad?
Get us angry. But okay. I'm going to do my best job of not getting angry anymore about that stuff.
Well, I'm just angry that it's I'll use the word I used yesterday. Irresponsible.
We disagree on that word, but it's fine.
Well,
we go forward.
I can't disagree with something that is presented that is clearly completely, totally unfactual.
But that's why I don't think they're presenting it. I think they're saying it's a trade. Anyway, we don't need to talk about this again.
Right, give me the Big Five.
We're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios where we know how. I guess it's good that they want to trade with the Padres. Padres are relevant is what I'm trying to say here. All right, let's get into the first one.
Number 5.
The latest athletic power rankings are out, and there is a new team at the top. The Atlanta Braves have taken over the top spot from the Dodgers, and it goes in order from 1, 2, 3, Braves, Yankees, Dodgers, and then the Padres are all the way down at number 10. Now, on the other hand, in Matt Snyder's CBS Sports rankings, the Dodgers are 4 and the Padres are 6. So, Chris, are they the 6th best? Are they closer to being the 6th best team in baseball or the 10th best team in baseball?
Last night they were about the 26th best team in baseball. I don't know. I guess it depends what week it is.
Yeah.
But we said it. And I'm not happy I'm right, but we definitely said a week ago before they went 2-6, we said that this isn't going to keep up unless some of the numbers start to improve.
Yeah.
Unless some of the big guys start hitting.
Yep.
You can't do it with the 18th best pitching in baseball and then sluggers that are all slumping. And we said that this was going to happen unless Manny, Fernando, Jackson Merrill completely woke up.
Yeah.
That has not happened. That's why they're 2-6. So, the ranking thing is neither here nor there. They're probably in the between 6 and 10. How's that? I don't know which closer, but
yeah, I would agree.
Around there sounds fine.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree more. I would think more so closer to 10 than 6 at the moment. Like you said, it can change.
Yeah, well,
we're
like
talking 2 weeks ago. They're in the top 5.
2 weeks ago, they were closer to 6.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next.
Number 4.
John Rahm, live golf superstar, has said today, he didn't specifically say it, but he hinted that he cannot get out of his live golf contract and he's going to have to see it through until either they shut down or his contract expires. He did make a deal with the DP World Tour, which is like the European PGA Tour, where he can come back and play some tournaments for them. But he's basically stuck, and they're saying that John Rahm is going to be wasting a lot of his good years of his golfing career in a non-existent place. So my question is John Rahm wasting the best years of his career? My answer is yes, he is, but I do not care because John Rahm made this choice. He knew going into it that he was at the mercy of the Saudi investors and the PIF fund. And there's no chance to me that he went into this thinking that this was going to last forever. He knew there was a possibility it would shut down. But again, he's wasting his career in a stupid league or tour. And he's now on the European tour. Great. But John Rahm, this is his doing. So I move forward. Chris?
That's fine. I think John Rahm would answer the question by saying, I'm wasting my career over here in the corner counting the money that I have.
Well, that's true. He can do that. That's
All
fine.
right. Well,
but do you want to be remembered or do you want to be remembered for how much money you make?
Not everybody wants to be remembered in the way you think they want to be remembered. I would ask the same thing of every college athlete that takes as much money as they can to go play somewhere when there's a better opportunity to get more playing time and maybe get more attention elsewhere. Some athletes want the most money they can get all the time. College athletes, I think, have a little better excuse for it in a lot of ways because many of them, this may be the only chance they have to make the bag. Or John Rahm is going to make the bag wherever he was.
Yes, he was.
So I got to believe that he just chose, the cash over the fame. So if he's okay with it, then why shouldn't I be okay with it, right?
I'm okay with it.
I miss the fact that, because of the live, we've been robbed of a few years of having the greatest golfers always together playing in these tournaments. And, I think that's a shame, but that's a downer for golf, not so much John Rahm.
Correct.
He personally is not interested in one way or the other.
Yes. All right.
Number 3.
I saw this morning and I thought it was kind of hilarious, but the Toronto Maple Leafs have hired a GM and all of the fans of this team hate the
They're
hire.
not the Maple Leafs anyway in your mind.
The Leafs.
The Leaves.
Yes, the plural
you
of the
you like to call them the Leaves.
So the introductory press conference yesterday, well, it was a little awkward, Chris, and one of the reporters, Steve Simmons, stands up and asks a question, and he's pretty blunt about it. It's a minute-long clip. I'm going to play the whole thing, but here's what happened at the press conference.
Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun. for Keith. You talk about the due diligence that you did on John prior to hiring him and now hiring him. In the past, say 3 to 4 days, I have been in contact with about 20 people who work in the National Hockey League, many of whom are prominent names that we would all know. And of the 20 people I spoke to, one was supportive of John's hiring and the other 19 thought it was a sham, to be perfectly honest. Words were used like con artist, liar, salesman. How did you come to a different conclusion that I was able to come to in a very short time?
I must have talked to different people.
That's it? Because I'm telling you, the hockey world today is astounded by this announcement.
Okay.
And your response to that?
Is we've conducted due diligence, and it was deep due diligence. It was a thorough process, and I'm quite happy with where we've landed.
All right, so this is all about John Chayka.
So that was the owner guy answering the questions?
At the end, yeah. The reporter asked Keith Pelly about that, and he said, I talked to different people. But here's why everybody's so upset about this. So he resigned from the Coyotes.
Who did they hire? Do we know
John
the name?
Chayka.
What's his name? John Chayka.
Chayka.
All right.
He became the youngest GM in the league at 26 when he was hired by the Coyotes in 2016. But after a month after his resignation, the NHL sanctioned the Coyotes for illegal pre-draft testing for more than 20 Canadian hockey prospects, which violates the league's combine testing policy. And then in 2021, Chayka was suspended for 1 year by NFL Commissioner Gary Bettman for, quote, conduct detrimental to the league in game for pursuing jobs with other teams while still under contract with Arizona. Chris?
Yeah.
My original question was too simple.
I don't get how these guys keep getting jobs.
That's what I want. Okay.
I don't have an answer for you. There's
How do these guys get these jobs?
There has to be better people out there, or at least more accomplished people than people that have basically broken rules and been suspended from the league. I don't know why you'd want somebody like that representing your team. I love the question. I honestly wish that guy who asked that question would go into political journalism. We need some of those.
Simmons.
Yeah, we need some of those questions asked to some of the leaders we have, and I mean all leaders, not just at the tip top.
I mean, that was a very I would
like some of these people's
question.
feet held to the fire, and he held this guy's feet to the fire, and you could hear by the answer that the guy wasn't really ready to have that happen.
No,
I will say this though. NHL draft lottery was just selected a few minutes ago. The Maple Leafs got the number 1 pick. So whatever, the guy has been good luck so far. He gets the start with the number 1 pick.
I am convinced.
I don't know how that happened. I think they were not the favorite to get it, but you know how they do the ping pong ball thing or whatever.
The Sharkies got the 2nd pick.
All right.
I am convinced that people who are at the top of things, like the owner of a team or GM of a team, the owner of the team here, I'm convinced that they have no idea that people are putting on a good face in front of them, because there are certain times where in the past I have been treated nice depending on if Tony was with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people will, if Tony's with me, they'll treat me nicer than if he's not with me. And I got to think John Chayka is just saying everything that this guy needs to hear to be able to get the job, and they're going to find out that this is a disaster. But for some reason, these guys are able to pull the wool over the eyes of some very smart and rich people.
No, they're rich people.
Okay. Good caveat on that one.
Okay.
We'll keep an eye on that situation.
Number 2.
WTA world number 1, Arina Sabalenka, made a strong statement at the Italian Open. She hinted at a potential player boycott of Grand Slams to address dissatisfaction with their revenue share. Players are set to receive nearly 15% of the French Open revenue, far below the requested 22%. Now, she's saying that if they boycott this event, it would hurt the ticket sales, and so things would go bad for the French Open. I'm up first. Is this a fair ask? I'm not really sure, but it is, in this day and age, I think it's a little tone deaf, and I know I've been using that a lot, to complain about the money, the millions that you're missing out on. This is more of a private conversation with the French Open rather than a public conversation, because honestly, I do not care if you get your 7% in revenue. It does not. You don't. I don't, but they do. Of course they do. But for me, don't care. Just play tennis. Chris?
Well, yeah, okay, but that's just, you're saying the same thing that you say baseball fans who blame players for all of the problems.
You're right.
I don't want to hear I don't want to hear that you're not making enough. Go play baseball. I think with Arena Sabalenka, I mean, look, let's go back to the mid-'70s. I mean, right when this started, Billie Jean King was the first to step up and say, hey, maybe you should pay us some money. And people thought she was outlandish and ridiculous and just take what you get and shut up. Well, guess what? Without Billie Jean King, these players wouldn't be making any money still.
True.
So I totally, at least respect Sabalenka for stepping up and saying, hey, let's make sure we get a fair deal. You're basically, French Open organizers last month have increased the prize money by 10%. But what the tennis players might be saying is, yeah, well, you're making 80% more. So why should they get all the money? We're the ones that they're coming to see. I think it almost makes more sense in tennis than sometimes baseball. Because tennis, you actually are going to see Jannik Sinner play.
Yeah, true.
Or whoever it is. Their name's almost on the ticket that you're going to.
Sabalenka set the record for prize money last year.
Good for her.
$15 million.
Well, and I just can't. I don't know all the numbers on this. I'm just saying that if you're going to tell me that baseball players should just shut up and play baseball, then I'll agree with you that tennis players should shut up and play tennis.
I kind of do think baseball players should do that too. I really do. But on the other side, I get where you're coming from. I am talking out of both sides of my mouth on this one.
Right.
And I should probably care a little bit more about the players getting their money because I don't like the businesses taking people's money.
Why should
out
the
of their pocket.
French Open make all the money? They got a big TV deal and all the revenue that flows into there.
It does.
Sabalenka's saying, well, without us, you don't get any of the money. So maybe you should let us share some.
Yeah, I think
Billie Jean
you
King started all this, and it was like, you just shut up. Just go play. You're a woman. Go play. We don't want to hear from you. Billie Jean King said, well, you're going to hear from me.
This is going to make me seem like a flip-flopper, but I think you got me on your side.
Okay, fair enough.
Number one.
The NFL schedules, according to Vegas win totals.
Oh boy!
Someone put it together and determined which are the 5 easiest schedules and the 5 hardest schedules. The 5 easiest schedules, the number 1 easiest schedule in the NFL next year: Lions, then Saints, Bengals, Browns, Jets. 5 hardest schedules: Rams, Cowboys, Panthers, Dolphins, Cardinals.
Okay.
So, can we really buy into, or can we really think about any of this? Because it's just based upon win totals from Vegas.
It's also based on win totals from last year. So you don't even know how good the teams you're going to be playing are going to be this year.
Yeah, true.
I mean, 2 years ago, the Broncos won 7 games. So that was a 7 on your schedule strength. Well, the actual Broncos that you played last year won 14 or whatever they won.
That's a good point. The Chiefs were bad last year, and
it's just a fun thing to put out there. And that's all this is.
It really caught my
I don't
eye
dislike
because of the
it. I know the Dolphins, like, that's all they need, right? To be the second hardest schedule when they're already the worst team. So,
which is crazy.
You would think because the way the schedule is supposed to be designed, you're supposed to play, teams similar to your own ability.
Yeah, you're supposed to play the same. Right. Like where you finish in your division, you play a whole division, but
but it's honestly one of those here nor there because most teams are different from year to year. The Lions did not make the playoffs at all last year.
True.
But going into the season, they were predicted to be the best team in football. So a Lion game on your schedule looked like a really hard game. As it turned out, it was a medium hard game. The Ravens were another one that were supposed to be great, and they weren't.
You know what, Chris? You beat me in this Big Five.
I win.
You beat me. You beat me. You had better answers. That's just the way of life right now.
Blowout.
Blowout.
Cleveland trying to close in on Detroit after getting blown out early. NBA playoffs. Pistons 41. Cavs 28. 8 minutes left, second quarter. Lakers Thunder at the bottom of the hour. Gwynn and Chris. Happy hour time includes a visit that Tony and I had with Alden Gonzalez of ESPN. Happy hour. Yeah. Brought to you by GL Pools, the company trusted by thousands of San Diegans, including a couple people that live right there in Skraby's neighborhood. He sees the truck all the time.
They do.
Keeping the pool in your neighborhood sparkling. You ought to go test it out. Make sure that just go knock on the door of your neighbors. Say, hey, Chris and I do GL Pool ads.
Yes.
Like to make sure the pool is sparkling.
May I inspect your pool?
May I dive in and do a lap or two?
May I inspect your pool?
They'd mind. Swim ready and expertly maintained. Call GL Pools now. Say radio. Get yourself a free month of service. I had a little daily gripe going into the happy hour today. Not a big one. And we got Padre baseball coming up, and we got Sammy's pregame, and we got Logan Webb, and we got Walker Buehler. I haven't talked much about Buehler today. Most of the focus has been on the Swiss cheese in the bats.
Yeah.
That, looked really bad last night, honestly. And I feel better about my rating that it was bad because Tony didn't really disagree. And Tony
would fight you.
Right. He would tell me otherwise. They didn't hit the ball hard. They didn't have good at bats. They didn't force the pitch count up. They rolled over all night long. They struck out 10. They walked none. Right. They had 3 base runners until the 9th inning. 2 of those were Jackson Merrill was the only guy to get a hit. And Jake Cronenworth got hit in the ankle and got on base, and somehow it gave him a concussion in the head.
I knew you were going to go there.
You knew I was going there. You're laughing, but yeah, Jake is on the concussion IL for 7 days. Sun Moon Song is going to make his Padres starting debut tonight in San Francisco. But no, they didn't hit it all last night. And I got to say, Fernando, you can defend Fernando all you want with all the hard hit balls. A lot of people have said that. Even Alden Gonzalez said it in our interview. Guys hit the ball hard. The statistics say he's going to start getting hits. Not if he swings like he did last night. I mean, just last night he was really particularly bad.
Yeah.
And even Tony said that the first time he thought that Fernando looked like he was, it was getting to him a little. The frustration of it.
I'm seeing a lot of things online now about how he has it, and it's all being connected to like, oh, well, now he's not on steroids. And so I'm sure that he sees and hears some of this stuff, and I'm sure it's not, the easiest to handle. But he's got to, because everybody has to handle stuff like that in baseball and sports in general.
Yeah. I mean, I gave you the numbers. It's been 34 games without a HR. Been 172 games without a 2 HR game. He has had no more than 2 home runs in any month since last June, except for last September. That was the outlier. The other months have all been nothing hardly. I'm only giving you the numbers so you judge, where you feel. Is he a power hitter, or is he just not really a power hitter? I don't think it's fair to say that, 19 to 20 home runs would be pretty acceptable at this point. It's not going to get the 42, though. No. Not happening again.
No.
And I think most of us kind of feel that is pretty much about right. You'd accept 19 home runs at this point. You'd accept 9.
You would be crazy to say that.
Accept 9 right now.
You would be crazy to say that this version of Fernando is going to ever hit 40 home runs in his career again.
And I hope by the end of, what was it? Sammy Sosa, I said last week, once had 20 home runs in the month of May. So that could change your season around pretty quick.
But see, that is something that, 20 home runs is crazy, but it is something that he could do. He could hit 7-8 home runs in a month.
Yeah,
as he did last year.
Right, he did it in September. But that's the outlier month. The other months are 2, 2, 1, 0 since last June. I'm just presenting it to you. You decide. Because I know some of you really still love Fernando. And I still, I believe in this guy, but only to a certain extent now.
We're aiming for the big cake, man.
Yeah, I don't perceive Fernando as the guy who's going to just single-handedly carry me to the title anymore. And I think a lot of people felt that was him.
I hate that I can't argue you on this.
Yeah, I think
I love Fernando.
He can be a big part of the title. He can be a big part. I think he is a big part. Will be. Just like Manny will be, just like Merrill will be, but it's going to take everybody.
There is like when I watch Fernando at bat sometimes, last night being an example, there is a level of he looks like he does not care type of thing. And I'm not saying that he doesn't care because I know he cares, but nothing about the at-bats looked good. Nothing. Body language, and I know we're not body language experts.
I told you last night was really, really bad for him.
So hopefully he goes up from here, and now he's batting fifth.
Batting fifth tonight. The rest of the lineup, Skraby, why don't you give it to everybody? Because it's really kind of a different lineup.
It's kind of
it's really like Craig Stammen saying, okay, I haven't really liked what I've been seeing. Let's do something different.
Yes, the lineup goes
What is
like
the old
this.
saying? If you do the same thing and expect different results.
If you do the same thing over and over again and expect different results, it's insanity.
Insanity, right. So it's Craig Stammen is saying, I'm not insane. Here's the lineup.
Leading off for your San Diego Padres, playing center field, Jackson.
Merrill.
Batting second, playing third base, Manny Machado. Batting third, DHing for the San Diego Padres, Miguel Andujar. Cleaning up, Gavin Sheets at first base.
Holy Sheets.
Fifth, right field, Fernando Tatis
El
Jr.
Nino.
Bogey, sixth, shortstop. Chris, close your ears. Castellanos, seventh, left field.
I know.
Eighth, Campisano. You're happy about that?
Yeah.
And then
until further notice.
And then Sung Moon Song is going to be starting at second base tonight, batting ninth. And we should say that Kyle Hart was sent down to AAA El Paso. And
yes. That was another news item today. Yuki Matsui
and Jake Cronin was put on the concussion IL to make room for Sung Moon Song.
Right. Play last night by Xander Bogaerts in the first inning was not smart. And I expect smart from Xander Bogaerts.
Me too.
He's the one guy I expect smart. One out runner at second, ground ball to short. Arise was the runner, took off for third. Xander thought he could get him and just, cut down the lead runner there and, you're all in good shape. But the problem was Manny wasn't really thinking the ball would be coming to him, nor should he have been. And so when he got the throw, he wasn't really just waiting on the runner to slide in. Manny had to catch it and kind of on the move, put the tag on.
Yeah.
It just was not a smart play. The reason it wasn't smart is because, so what if he gets to third? You throw the runner out easy at first. There's two outs. Runner at third. Get the next guy out. Inning's over. By doing what he did, to me, the benefit did not equal the risk. And again, by not getting the runner, Nina at first and third with one out. Devers got a base hit. I think they ended up scoring 2 runs that inning, and I think they would have probably scored 2 either way. But the Padres, the way they're going on offense right now, they can't afford to give another team a chance at a big inning like that.
No.
And that could have turned into a much bigger inning on a risk that wasn't worth taking. Let's go back to the Friday game against the White Sox. Fernando's playing second base. Now, Fernando is a swashbuckler, all right? He's different than Xander. Yep. I expect Xander to make the, solid, smart thing. It didn't shock me that Fernando went for the highlight reel play. And let me take you back to what play I'm talking about. But the White Sox had runners at first and third. There was nobody out. The ground ball was to third. The runner was Chase Meadroth, the kid from USD, for the White Sox. He hesitated before he ran home. Manny picked up the ball, threw to Fernando at second, got the out. 90% of the time, the second baseman would throw on to first, get the double play, but the run would score. But you'd be willing to trade a double play to clear the inning and, clear the bases. Fernando went for the out at home, right? He caught it from Manny, turned, and threw home.
Yes.
Now, if he puts a perfect peg on it and bang, bang, they get the out, guess who's in the highlight reel that night? Fernando.
Yep.
Plays of the, what do they call ESPN? Top 10. Fernando in the plays of the week. But guess what? He didn't get it on a good throw. It went over the guy's head. The run scored. The runner at first was now safe. The inning also gave the White Sox an extra out because they were giving you the double play out at first base. Now with one out, I think Marquez walked a guy or something happened. The next thing was a sacrifice fly scored a third run. Well, that run wouldn't have scored because the fly ball would have been the last out of the inning.
Yeah.
And then what happened next? Murakami hit a 3-run homer. Murakami hit a 3-run homer.
And the game was over.
You're right. So, again, I'm not casting blame here. I like a good aggressive play when it is a play that can be made. But the swashbuckling Fernando there, in my mind, maybe yours, maybe you disagree with me, but in my mind, in trying to save a second run, his, to me, kind of risky play there set up an inning where the White Sox got 6.
Yeah.
And the game was over.
Yeah.
So, these are the kind of things. Look, when you're hitting, you can overcome a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not hitting right now. They can't afford to give up anything else. And maybe that's why Fernando said, I better throw home, try to keep it 1-0 because 2-0 is going to be, difficult. And maybe that's what Bogarts was thinking last night. The Padres are smart, I think, normally as a baseball team. I need to see that. And, they're going to have to make the plays on the edges right now until these guys start hitting.
Yeah.
When these guys start hitting, it's a different story.
It's a different story, but maybe that's just also lack of time at second base for Fernando.
Yeah, maybe yes and no. I don't think that's a lack of he knows that's a double play ground ball, but he saw the guy get a slow start at third, and he thought, I'm going to make the highlight play. And if he makes it, he's the hero. But he didn't make it, and that was pretty much ball game.
He's also very confident in his skills. So
you're right. All right. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. We'll check some traffic. Alden Gonzalez from ESPN. Get his Padre thoughts. Tony and I visited with him earlier. You'll get to hear it.
It's
I had you out of program and I couldn't figure it out and I panicked.
Pistons 59, Cavs 46. Halftime, game 1, Eastern semifinals. Lakers Thunder getting underway shortly. In OKC, little hockey update for you. Minnesota, Colorado played a 9-6 game the other night. Tonight, first minute and a half of the game, Colorado scores. 6 seconds later, Minnesota scored. So they're at it again. It's 1-1 at the very beginning of that game.
The benching of the goalie didn't really work for Minnesota.
I was going to say, no truth to the rumor that in Denver tonight, it's come out of the stands and be a goalie night. Like, do they have really NHL goalies in there? Because nobody's stopping anything.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I kind of like these types of games.
I don't mind a wild game, and it's the same thing I'll tell you in baseball. I don't mind a Coors Field, 13-11 game. I don't want one every night.
Yeah.
But I like a game like that sometimes.
I'm into it.
All right. Padres and Giants tonight. Not expecting 13-11 tonight with these two offenses.
But
I'll
it
tell you
probably
that.
will be just because we're not expecting.
Right, exactly. Castellanos may hit 2-3 home runs the way he's been going. Fernando's good for a couple of water shots tonight. Who knows? It is baseball.
Old
crazy,
friend.
crazy things have happened.
Stephen Kolek, I was just made. He's back, Chris. So
another goal was just scored. Oh no,
there was a replay. I thought the same thing.
Just got another one.
The same thing.
All right. Tony and I visited with Alden Gonzalez of ESPN, and it made me feel a little better that a lot of our comments you and I have been making and the fans have been making, kind of the same thing that the national people are making about our Padres. It's all pretty sensible, but Alden lays it out better than most.
Welcome back.
With negative run differential and with their offense being as anemic as it has been, I think it's a great sign. And as it regards to the Dodgers, again, and look, I think those are the two best teams in the division. I don't think I'm saying anything controversial or surprising. But as it regards to the Dodgers, I mean, they too have had some really, really bad are going through a really bad offensive rut right now. And, they still manage to stay atop or near the top of the National League, atop the sport. And I think, those two teams have kind of separated themselves. I feel like what the Dodgers and the Padres are going through offensively, it feels a lot more temporary to me than what the Giants are going through. It just doesn't seem like a lineup that fits well together. And the Diamondbacks have showed a lot of fight. I thought the Diamondbacks were going to struggle a lot in the early going when you look at the injuries that they've had. And I know that the thought for them throughout the organization was, we just need to hang on the first 6 to 8 weeks of this season, and then we're going to have some pitching reinforcements back. So the fact that they're at 500, around 500, I think is a good sign. But I still think at the end of the day, it's going to be Dodgers and Padres, which makes it so fun that they're going to meet in a couple of weeks in San Diego.
Alden Gonzalez from ESPN, nice enough to talk some baseball with us. Alden, everything you said makes 100% sense to us. And when you did your power rankings, I think last week, or when ESPN did, and you wrote about the Padres, you wrote the exact same thing, that, it's amazing that the Padres are doing what they're doing. Our fans don't want to hear any of that. Our fans want to know why everybody's not hitting 600. And, so here's, I guess, the best question for them might be, what's fair for them to be concerned, with a guy like Fernando and with a guy like even Jackson Merrill, who he did homer last night, but he hasn't really got it going, man. He's been less than his normal self. And let's just look at those three players. What's fair to be, before you should say, okay, it's fair to be concerned?
Well, I just think they need to get going at some point. Like, it needs to happen because, and this has been talked about on your show before, and I still believe this, even though the Padres are doing what they're doing, how much can you count on, Xander Bogaerts producing the way he has been, or even a Miguel Andujar, or guys like, guys that they weren't counting on, like Ty France and Luis Campuzano. Like, track record and or age suggests that those are not going to be guys that you're going to be counting on for a 6-month regular season. And for the Padres, and look, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I think as the years have gone on and the contracts have gotten bigger and the budget has gotten smaller and the farm system has gotten thinner, it has become more and more important every year that your big guys carry the load. Yeah. And I will say that on the pitching side, but specific to this question, I will say that on the offensive side. So where my concern would lie, if I'm a Padres fan, or even if I'm just observing the Padres, is that eventually Tatis and Merrill and Machado are going to have to be your three best hitters for this to be a playoff team. Now, the optimist in me will say it's going to happen because all I have is evidence that it's going to happen. And with Tatis, I know there's been a lot of talk about Tatis and his batted ball data and stuff like that. And he needs to pull pitches into the air. Like, we all know that. But the fact that he's hitting the ball as hard as he is, last I checked, nobody outside of James Woods was hitting the ball harder than Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's
now,
true.
That doesn't make what has happened any better, but it should suggest to you that he's not super far off. Maybe he is. I don't know. But I would think that those three guys are going to get better. And the fact that the Padres are where they are, in spite of that, for however frustrating it might be to watch them on a daily basis, and I'm sure it is maddening right now, I would think that that's going to turn around. But having said that, it needs to, because there's no other path for the Padres to make the playoffs if it's not with those three guys carrying the load.
Alden Gonzalez spitting all facts here right now as he joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Alden, the Padres hitting is just a piece of what's going on right now. They're quite banged up, although they got a nice shot in the arm, no pun intended, from Griffin Canning the other day. He joined the rotation, but they are without Nick Pivetta, Joe Musgrove at the tippy top of their rotation. I mean, how important, you mentioned the offense, and certainly those three guys are going to have to be the dudes if they're going to be a serious playoff contender. But how important is it to get those arms back as well at the front end of that rotation?
I mean, it's going to be crucial. And I mean, you guys would know more than me in terms of where Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta are with their rehabs. It doesn't seem like they're anywhere in the near future in terms of coming back. So look, I mean, well, Griffin, I can't, I mean, I guess you can't overstate this, but it was still really important to see what Griffin Canning did coming back, because they need that. What Randy Vasquez continues to provide for them has been essential, like Michael King being there. But this rotation is going to need more. And my concern here, and I saw this with the Dodgers last year, in that their rotation was really banged up and their bullpen started to absorb a lot of innings early, and it took a toll late. Yeah. And I worry because the strength of this Padres team is so clearly in the bullpen. If you're getting short starts, if you're getting ineffective starts from, 3/5 of your rotation, which it has felt like that for a big chunk of the year, there is a tendency to overtax your bullpen. And that shows up later. Like, the receipt comes due eventually. So that'll be my concern there. I mean, it's not, and I think the run differential, I think I just looked this up last night. I think the run differential is still like -2. I mean, there's a reason for that, right? Like they're not getting major offensive production, and they're not getting, on most nights, great starting pitching, but their bullpen is holding on, and Mason Miller's having a transformative year, and they're having a lot of comeback wins. At some point, like, one of those two things, either the offense or the starting pitching, needs to start clicking for this to be a more sustainable run for them.
Alden Gonzalez, ESPN, so knowledgeable, so fun to have you on again. What have you heard anything that we maybe haven't heard about the new ownership of the Padres and what that might look like? Number one, and number two, what might they be facing a year from now or in December if this whole thing goes south and, we don't even have baseball coming up? I keep it's in the back of my mind. I'm trying to keep it there, Alden.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's going to be on the back of everybody's mind. I've heard, I think what I've heard is a cautious optimism. The fact that the new ownership group, Feliciano and his wife, like they seem to be invested in San Diego, that it's the two of them maintaining ownership, and it's about a 40% equity stake that they have in the team, and he's going to be the controlling owner. It's going to be their team. The fact that it's not their private equity company and it's them owning it, I think is a big deal. I think it's going to end up being a big deal. And the fact that they seem to be investing in the community and they like baseball, and they said this in their statement when the announcement was made, that they want to carry out Peter Seidler's vision, I think brings optimism. Now, at the moment, those are just words.
That's right.
And so we'll see what happens. I think we also have to see what the economic structure is of Major League Baseball. Like, nobody has any idea what we're going to be facing in 2027, and especially not in 2028. Is there going to be a salary cap? Is it going to be maybe easier with the nationalization of local media for the Padres to spend the way they were in the last few years of Peter Seidler? That I don't know, but I will say I think the Padres are a very important symbol here for the coming labor talks, okay? Because if you're on the union side, you are using the Padres as a proxy for ownership spending. Yeah. And what I mean by that is Peter Seidler poured his money into the roster, okay? And maybe they didn't win a championship, but they were fun and they were competitive, still are competitive. They had a great fan atmosphere there. And then when it came time to sell the team, he sold for $3.9 billion, easily a record. And it's a testament to, if you put resources into something, you will eventually benefit from it. But the counter from the league side, outside of what they'll say about this being an outlier situation because it's a Southern California team and those are a lot more valuable than in other places like in Minnesota where they couldn't sell, or in Washington, D.C., what they'll say is, well, yeah, he did that, but the Padres incurred hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. And that is not a sustainable or an equitable path for any other owner or most other owners. And it's why the league needs a salary cap, because even though they were drawing the crowds that they were, they still incurred debt while trying to spend like the Dodgers. So those are two arguments that are going to be made. And I think it's very interesting that this Padres sale is going to be so pivotal in the upcoming labor talks.
Very, very well said there, Alden. It's certainly on the front and back of everybody's minds. As the deeper we get into the season, the closer to reality we are of those questions being answered. As always, Alden, appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us, man. We'll catch up again soon.
No problem, guys.
Thanks, care. Alden. Alden Gonzalez, ESPN. I always want to call him Alden.
And you do.
And I kind of do, and then I switch it up as the interview goes on.
Sure, he's heard.
And then I apologize to him, Alden Gonzalez from ESPN. He's so good, and good to us for coming on the show. So there's his Padres stuff, and I think he's right. Really, we have fun talking about the rest of it, but it's going to be those three guys. And hopefully Merrill got going last night. He is going against Logan Webb tonight, and he's 10 for 15 in his career.
That's a good.
So that was a good Jackson Merrill streak coming. Manny is showing some signs. I don't think he's quite there to destructive mode yet, but seen something here and there. Fernando, not yet. I got nothing else for you.
That pained you.
Yeah, Jake Cronenworth to the 7-day concussion list today. And I know I've been giving the story off as if like, yeah, right.
I haven't done that.
I have. I find it a little hard. I find it to be very, what do you call the
rich?
No, coincidental.
Oh, okay. All right.
Coincidental that he would be placed on a 7-day concussion list when he's had nothing of any concussion-like symptoms that I've seen for the last week.
Oh, you hang out with him every day?
Well, I watched the game, so as I said, unless he got out of bed last night and bumped his head.
I have information on this.
But you are saying, and he is saying, and let's be fair, because he did get hit with a fastball up around the cheek in Anaheim a couple of Saturdays ago.
Yes.
And then he said this today.
He said, this is from AJ Cassavell. It's not a quote, but he said that he didn't notice the symptoms were actually concussion symptoms in Denver and Mexico City, possibly attributing the headaches and grogginess he had to the altitude. So he came back still with the headaches.
He's been home. So how long have they been back from Mexico City, though? A week and a half. It's possible. It is. Maybe, and doctors know better than me, so I'm not trying to be a doctor.
Let me ask you this. Do you think they're better with him in the lineup?
Right now, I think the perfect thing to do is let him sit out for however it is that you have to have him sit out. If it's to put him on the concussion list, if it's to put him on the injured 10-day list, something. Let him go, relax, get away from it, take some cuts underneath the stadium where nobody's looking, and get a little confidence and feel back, and then return to the lineup.
I hope that's the case.
So that's what I think is best, and that's what they're doing.
Yes.
But I don't believe that it's just coincidental that he's got a concussion so that they can put him on the injured list. I think that maybe he's got a headache and sounds good.
I'm okay with him taking care of his head.
Yeah, I'm being unfair. Let's just be honest. I'm being unfair because I don't know. Bottom line, I'm happy to see Sun Moon Song come up. Hopefully he'll get to play 5-6 games this week. And let's see what, we spent $15 million on. Let's get a little feel for it.
We'll see him tonight.
All right. And then Jake, come back strong. I will not give up on Jake Cronenworth, but I also won't let him play every day hitting 147.
You can't.
Framber Valdez is a rockhead, and he proved it once again tonight for Detroit against Boston.
Here, let me play this real quick.
Oh, you got a
little video of it. By the way, Framber Valdez, at this point, it's the 4th inning. He's given up 10 runs and back-to-back home runs to the Red
He's given
Sox.
up 10 runs tonight?
Through 4 innings.
Yikes.
And here's what happened after back-to-back home runs.
Jock. Trevor Story's going to get drilled. That's tired. After the back-to-back home runs, Valdez plunks him. And some of the Red Sox.
And then the benches cleared. It wasn't a good benches clearing incident. Framber Valdez was ejected.
You heard the broadcaster right there. The broadcaster was right. He goes, "That's tired. It's just old. It's stupid. It doesn't even send any messages anymore other than to say that you yourself are weak."
Yeah, you're soft.
That's all it is. And everybody gets that with Framber Valdez. This is a guy that crossed up his own catcher last year and threw a fastball that hit him in the face on purpose.
Yeah.
And then said it was, blah, blah, blah. Get out of here, you liar. Framber Valdez is a rockhead, and that's fine. He's a good pitcher, but he's a rockhead. Can be both.
I have a 1-day hitting streak going in our hit to pick.
Yes, you picked Casey Schmidt. He homered. So who's your pick to go 2 days in a row from tonight's game? Who's going to get a hit?
Jackson Merrill is going to continue.
God, that's not fair. 10 for 15.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to choose. No. I want to choose Andujar then. Andujar.
I will go with Luis Ariz.
All right.
Even though Sammy I'm on a 0 streak.
Up next.
Sammy!
A family office is a team built